Welcome back, everybody. It has been a little bit of time since we had the pleasure of playing this game.
Just a bit, yeah.
But
A
we
bit.
appreciate everybody who stuck with us over the past couple weeks as we had a little bit on, a little bit off. But we are going to strive to get back to a more regular and consistent streaming schedule.
Because we want to play more. We're sick of this
Yeah.
bi-weekly playing.
Yeah, it's really just inconvenient and annoying that there
For
was just
everyone.
like holiday
For-
after
for
our
everybody, yeah.
holiday every other weekend on Sundays. Like,
Yeah.
but
But we
what
are
can you do?
we are back and ready for action.
Yes, sir.
And I wanted to do something a little interesting today. Well, first, before we go into that, just a very quick content warning as we come up on the. I'll spoil it for everybody since I've already spoiled it for my players. We're coming up on the end of book 1 here. So Paizo puts out these awesome adventure paths, which we are playing. This one, again, is a modified, very heavily modified version of the Agents of Edgewatch campaign. But there's going to be some kind of darker material coming up. I've changed it a little bit, but there is going to be some sensitive content coming up. So just a fair warning on that one. But I wanted to do something a little different today because one of my favorite podcasts did something similar recently, and I wanted to ask the group a question.
Oh,
Ask the group a question, and that
All right,
question
then.
is going to be very telling. Very telling. The question is, what is the strangest gift that you have ever been given? Strangest gift you've ever been given.
Been given. You want the strangest gift I have received
Unless
myself?
you've given like an absurd gift yourself.
No, I've just seen that question before. Like I've seen.
Hey,
like, what's the best gift
I
you've ever
have an
received?
answer, and it's an interesting explanation of why it's the strangest.
Let's hear
because
it.
it's okay. So when I was, I think like 8 or 9, I was given the movie The Labyrinth from my not actually related to me
Yep.
cousin,
Yep.
and I did not like it at the time. I was like,
Yeah.
why would it was just scary to me. Like the Muppets just freaked me out. And like looking back, I'm like, this movie could have been formative for me if I had just embraced it. But
It's a
like
really
now
good
I'm
movie.
just like, yeah, that movie's sick.
It's a
But like
really good movie.
I was not ready for it when I was 8 or 9.
That one is a bit of a mind bender for an 8 or 9-year-old. That one's
Very, very Catholic sheltered 8 or 9-year-old
that's
too.
it's a bit of
Yeah.
a stretch
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
That's a wide opening. That is
Yeah.
an introduction for sure.
Yes. Now
Anyway.
I'm just like, I need to watch that movie again. Now, as like a true Bowie stan.
That was
like,
Guillermo del Toro, right?
I think so. Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
that?
Could be,
Thank
could be
God.
misremembering, but I'm pretty sure that's like his first like really
Oh,
big
wow.
movie.
It was.
Yeah.
It was
maybe.
good. It was a good one. Anyone else? Anyone else? Strange
It's
gifts.
probably the yard of Snickers that I got last year for Christmas.
Oh,
Yard?
they had some of those
Yard.
Snickers.
I still have the box actually. Hold on.
Yeah, the one that's been in our apartment for like 6 months.
I have eaten from this yard of Snickers.
Eh,
Oh my
it's-
god.
Wow.
I think they're all
Literally,
gone, so no worries about spoilage or anything like that. But
Wow.
the official
Incredible.
NFL yard marker of Snickers.
18 regular size Snickers bars, and it is an
Jeez.
actual real
Oh, I gotta
yard.
say, I'm a little upset that it wasn't a single bar. That
Me
wasn't
too.
yard.
It made it much easier to eat
I was gonna
18
say.
individual Snickers bars, but it was a little disappointing. That's not a gigantic
We
Snickers
need-
bar.
18
Yeah.
people to be able to actually finish that in a reasonable amount of time.
I keep trying to throw this box away, and then I keep saying to myself, no, I'm not ready to let go of my Snickers jar yet. I'm
And
not.
you never know when you'll need a yardstick.
You never know.
You'll
you
never
really
know.
never know.
Until you get an actual yardstick, you gotta keep
Like a
it.
tape measure.
It's the next
Yeah,
best thing.
exactly,
It really is.
exactly. How else will I be able to verify that a football field is actually 100 yards? You know,
Well, I mean,
You
do
won't.
have
You won't be able to. That's the answer.
that's the answer. Is I won't.
do you have
Until I buy it.
1180 Snickers to double check?
That quick maths. I don't, unfortunately. That's probably the strangest gift I've received. Shout out to my mom who gave that to me for Christmas last year, and my brother, and we were both like, "Why does this even exist in the first place?" But we were happy to get it.
If it did, it was going to find its way to you.
Exactly.
Ben, Daniel, anything strange or weird or
Well, so the first thing I thought of was a gift an ex-girlfriend of mine got me once.
Go
This
on.
was the year after I graduated college. I was still working at CNU where I graduated, and I was employed by the school, and per the rules of the school's rec sports, I was still allowed to play on intramural teams as an employee, which always felt a little strange, but I did, and we ended up going to the championship of this intramural whatever.
What sport was
And
it?
it was ultimate frisbee.
Yes.
And at the championship game, my girlfriend brought a bunch of blown up fat heads of my face, just going like making some awful face, and
my
was just
goodness.
waving them around. It was so
That is-
hilarious and so strange.
That is amazing.
It's like deeply uncomfortable. I have
Right, exactly.
no idea how to
I
feel
love
about that.
She
I
didn't
love
tell
that.
me about this either. She
Of
just
course
showed
not,
up and
yeah.
had like 3 of them.
Goodness.
Fun fact: both Ben and I played on the CNU Ultimate Team. So you know.
Hey,
Good times.
True.
couple
Ben
So
of
it
played-
did feel a little bit. It felt a little bit like cheating when I was allowed to be on the undergrad intramural game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was allowed.
There you go. Daniel, anything fun? Anything interesting?
I never was given something I thought was really weird, but my mom has a funny story of she went birthday gift shopping with my grandmother for me, and she told me the story because my grandmother picked out this electronic device, and I was really into video games back in the day, and she was like, "Oh, this will be a perfect gift for Daniel. Don't you think? It has all the buttons. It's just like his Game Boy." And my mom was like, "Grandma, that's a calculator." That's a calculator.
It's adorable.
It was like
Amazing.
the T90 whatever T95 I think it's
Kind of
called.
looks like a
graphic
Game Boy,
design.
right?
The really
Real
like
bad.
advanced ones. My grandma
Yeah.
thought it was like a really complicated like video
Oh
game
my
system.
God.
Oh,
That's
how
adorable.
sweet.
What
To
a
be
pure
fair,
story.
She's actually correct because you can program so many different games on those.
Yeah.
You can,
That's
yeah.
true, actually.
That's
What was
very
that
true.
game that was on the TI-84 all the time with like the really big nerds? What it's like a block guy. You like move the blocks around on
I
the.
remember that one.
Yeah,
I don't remember what it's called.
I
but-
have so few memories of Algebra 2 freshman year and so many memories of playing that game. Oh my
Yeah, I was
god.
jealous. Some kids have like the really advanced calculators. They get programmed
Yeah.
like a game almost like Mario on there and like
Yeah.
play
Some like
Mario games
really
fast.
hardcore stuff.
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Still have the TI-84.
Oh my God.
goodness.
Didn't need a new
Absolutely
screen
incredible.
there,
It's
bud.
Wow.
so
Amazing.
long.
It has
See
been
the
through
depth
it.
of-
Wow.
Look at this baby.
I distinctly remember
Still there.
waiting for class and everybody breaking out their USB cables to be able to trade games back and forth. Like someone
Oh
would
my
get like
God.
Snake or Asteroids or something, and everyone would be like, "Oh, give me that," and we had to trade them over the save files for the
Can you
programs and
believe,
stuff.
can you believe kids these days are subjected to TikTok instead of TI-84
I
calculator
know.
games?
I-
Pshaw.
And I remember going through and people would create like the graphs that like drew pictures and stuff.
Yeah. That was a good one too.
Um,
Oh, simpler times. Simpler times.
Simpler times.
Actually, much more complex times than anything I do now. I do not know how to make a graphing calculator game. That sounds
Yeah.
like a really difficult thing to do.
So I don't have a very explicitly strange one, but I have a very niche gift that I was given, and this was many years after college. This was like 2-3 years ago, during a Secret Santa with some of my buddies. Actually, Emily Grace was there, from CNU, where all of us except Jack graduated, except Jack was there for one semester. But that's
Once
the story.
a captain, always a captain, my friend.
No, you're no.
You did
Um,
betray us.
You don't even believe that, Jack.
Once a captain, always a captain. That phrase will make any former CNU
But,
alumni cringe infinitely.
Just ask any CNU alumni to do a crew check. I'll just give you that one.
Can I get a crew
Can I
check?
get a
Um,
Oh,
but
no.
there was
Remember
a
how to do
pizza
it, though.
place that I went to almost religiously. That was just down the street from campus, like
Andy's Pizza.
5-minute walk.
Andy's Pizza.
And
And yeah,
Shout out
actually,
Andy's.
Actually, all of us. It's no longer an establishment, unfortunately.
R.I.P.
That
Andy.
is true.
Boo.
But- they had these like amazing deals on like if you got a pizza, like a large pizza, you get like dollar drafts in a cup on Fridays. So obviously that's where we went. And I went there with like all of my different social groups. I could not get enough of Andy's Pizza. But that being said, again, a lot of my friends from that friend group that I was with loved Andy's Pizza. We even did like small concerts there, like live performance concerts there, which is a blast. Somebody made an Andy's Pizza hat, like a baseball
Yo.
hat that had like a little
What?
pizza slice on it and it said Andy's Pizza. And I wish, now that I think about it, it's somewhere in my room, but I don't have immediate access to it. But it was part of a Secret Santa, and it was a very sought after hat, and I won the Andy's Pizza hat.
Hey,
Yo.
Incredible.
nice.
And it's
This was not official Andy's Pizza
no,
merchandise.
no, they didn't have any
That's even
merchandise
better.
whatsoever.
That's even better.
Somebody
bootleg
custom
hat.
made a hat like on a website and ordered a custom Andy's Pizza hat that I ended up getting for
Did
Incredible.
Rachel do that?
Rachel made it. Yeah, Rachel made it.
Makes sense.
Or it wasn't a Secret Santa. It was like a Yankee swap or white
Dirty
elephant or whatever you want to call
White
it.
Elephant, yeah.
All of the
Any of
variations.
the 19
yeah.
different names for that activity. Yeah.
But I got the hat, and it is one of my favorite things, even though I never wear hats. So
Cool. It's a very good
That's
gift.
where we went on our first not date.
First not
Yeah.
date.
like
We were dating, but it's where I started to like him.
Wow.
that would have been like
Yeah.
almost 3 years ago. Anyway,
Longer.
time.
The flat circle. Who cares?
It's a flat circle.
The weird soup.
You know what else is weird? The world of Galarian, where we find ourselves now,
God, I'm not ready.
as we come
No.
back to a very
I'm
interesting,
stress-breathing.
very, very interesting situation.
A very upsetting situation for most of
My
us.
hands suddenly got very sweaty.
Yeah, really, all at once.
So, and you'll have to forgive me for this intro. You'd be very surprised, or maybe not that surprised at how hard it is. But
Read X.
we return to our xenophilic, yoked, and zesty adventurers as they battle through the many terrors unleashed in the
Excellent.
Dreaming Palace.
Oh, he did all three at once. Okay,
Excellent.
okay.
That's good. No, wait,
Kinda
that's
like that,
really
though.
good.
Kinda like
actually.
that.
Yeah, I
I'll
really
take
like
it.
that. That's
It was
good.
disturbingly hard to get any of those.
Tune in next week to
It's
see if
the-
he starts the alphabet over again or gives up on this bit.
Were we called xenophobic? Hold on.
Xenoph-
what?
No,
Philic.
xenophilic.
It is the
Xenophilic.
opposite
Philic.
of xenophobic.
Yeah, okay.
He's
okay.
racist adventure.
I know, I was like, what?
Oh my god.
Wow.
We return to our xenophilic, yoked, and zesty adventurers as they battle through the many terrors unleashed in the Dreaming Palace. Having defeated Ralso and the soulbound dolls that accompanied her, they scoured through Ralso's journal to discover more about her life and the atrocities that had been taking place both to her and the residents of the hotel. After resting and healing up, they ascend the staircase to confront whatever unholy spirit resides in the attic of the tower. They now find themselves confronted by the wailing of this creature's many voices, one of which is now Kashak's, that you hear surrounding you, disembodied in the room, as it has stolen Kashak's voice and added it to the cacophony. While the creature assaults the bodies and minds of our group, we return mid-combat. I do want to provide a little bit of context as we jump back in here. So if you take a look, there's all this purple area. We are in the attic, or the rookery, as one might say, of the tower. And it's got this, like, the sloped ceilings that go to the center. So all of this purple area that somebody so carefully crafted for us is, you're considered, like, crouched. So it's harder to move
Somebody.
around. Somebody did it. 'Twas not I. Furthermore, we have the attic whisperer right here. That you all found was some kind of remnant or piece of a soul that had been trapped and bound, specifically children's souls. And it is Ralso's firm belief that this is the, or at least whatever is left of her sister, corpora that has been bound here by all of the negative and evil energies that emanate this place.
Cool.
If we can get some combat music going on here
Diving
as
right
we
back in.
return straight back into initiative. Encounter mode, as some in the community might call it.
Oh,
Not me, but some. It is currently Twinkletoes' turn.
Oh
alright.
gosh.
Say that
okay.
6 times fast.
Twinkletoes' turn. Okay. I suppose I am gonna try to tumble through to here, if I may.
Sure. You're small, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you are unaffected by the height of the ceiling. But that space that you're in, there's like a large
Oh,
cage in it. You
there's
can
a
go there,
cage.
but your tumble through is going to be harder. Basically, there's
Oh.
like less space for you to land
Yeah.
there.
Smaller
so
window
it's
at
gonna
the
be
end.
a little bit harder for you to get through.
Well, in that case, can I tumble through to there? Can I go doot?
It's still through his square, right?
Technically,
would be
yes.
It's
Technically,
square.
Yes. Sure. Go ahead.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna do.
I don't think you have to go
Okay.
straight through.
No, it's
That's
just
a-
moving through the square for a tumble.
Yeah.
That is a 21 acrobatics.
This is against the reflex DC.
Yeah.
You managed to just barely scrape by.
Nice.
You
Nice.
do a little
Alright.
tuck and roll, like directly in between this creature and Dr. Forsyth. So you managed to pop up on the other side.
And I get panache.
If that's what the rules of the game say, then I suppose I can't disallow it.
Tumble through goes panache.
I was more announcing. than
Oh, then
you know.
say it. Say it loud and proud.
I'm sorry. I have a questioning undertone. All right. I'm gonna make a confident finisher at this thing.
You're certainly
Now.
willing to try.
Missed. That was a 2 on the dice.
Yikes.
What's the total?
Sucks.
The total is 12.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not quite gonna do it.
'Cause
Yeah.
you get damage though anyway, right? With the
Yeah,
combat
doesn't
finisher.
Yes, I do.
Other damage? Yeah.
I get half my precision damage, so we'll see. Oh, that's cocked. I rolled snake eyes.
So one.
And
Wrong
that's
start.
2. So 1 point of damage. 1 point of
Okay.
precision damage.
Strong
Still
start.
damage, and this thing has, as of yet, been barely scratched. So you are managing to, like, as you're coming through, you pop up, poke it out, and just barely ding off one of like the ribs of this small.
But it
skeleton.
does damage though?
Seems like it does.
Huh?
You see a little scratch as like you tear through some of the blue dress that it's wearing and leave a dent in one of the ribs.
Okay.
You have one more action, correct?
Yes, I do. I'm gonna tumble through again, if I may.
Sure. Go ahead and roll it.
Natural 20.
Let's go.
That is a
I'll do it.
critical
I'll do it.
success. Yeah.
Can you crit that? What does that do?
I'm just
I'm-
fascinated. Let me see. Let me see if it does anything.
That's a wonderful question. I don't think that's come up yet. It doesn't look
Where?
like there's any. It's just straight success
Yeah.
or failure.
No critical.
Okay.
Good call,
All right.
though.
Unlucky.
You definitely make it through, and you have panache once more.
Yay! Thank you.
Let's see. Dr. Forsyth had moved in the initiative order, so Bastro.
All right. Bastro is stupefied right now, but he's not even in the room yet.
Not quite.
He's going to. He's gonna have to roll since I'm stupefied, which is actually really bad for spellcasters. Let me pull that up.
Terrible.
again.
That's
I
not
have
good.
to. I have
That's not
to.
good.
In order to cast a spell, I have to pass a DC flat check of 6. So I'm gonna cast a spell, but before I even announce what it is, I'm going to roll that DC
Flat
6.
check it.
Oh gosh. Oh, whoops, that's backwards. Hold
It's the various symbols Dr. Forsyth is rolling through on his.
on. Okay, I passed it. Excellent.
Nice.
Next, okay, so I'm gonna be casting Bless.
Okay.
And Bless,
Oh, huge.
you just see like first you see Bastard kind of like scratching his head, like trying to remember how to actually cast it. Light bulb goes off, and then that light bulb literally emits an aura of light from Bastro. So within 5 feet of Bastro, whoever is within 5 feet of him gets a +1 to attack rolls.
Nice.
Okay.
And as a third action, I am just gonna wander up here, and I guess I'm crouched here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So he'll just move right there, and he'll end his turn.
Okay, yeah, so you are like, these voices, these whispers and echoes and screams and crying is just deafening all around you, but you're able to focus and push through this, like, foggy cloud in your mind to be able to access the reserve of magic within you and bless those in your party around you. Very good. For what it is worth, just the anyone in those squares, you are considered clumsy 1. Just to reedify what specifically that does. So your movement isn't affected, but you do get the clumsy 1 condition.
Except for me.
Except for medium or larger, which is everybody except Twinkle Toes. I believe.
All the boys.
Yeah. Next up, after Bastro, is Kashak. Kashak, currently mute.
Yeah, silent warrior he is, sometimes by choice. He is now not by choice also. So he's going to stride the 10 feet to here. I think he's going to, like, just take a shot with his bow. He might just take a hunted shot from frickin' point blank.
Okay.
2 arrows coming out here. First arrow is...
And that's in the range of Bless still, yeah?
Yep.
That's exactly why he stays there.
Yep.
Yeah. He feels like the energy waning as he steps away. He's like, maybe I'll stand here instead. 24 for the first arrow.
That will hit.
And lower for the second arrow. That's going to be minus 5, 6. That's 14. So that's not going to hit.
No.
Alrighty. That is 2 points of piercing damage and 4 points of precision damage.
Okay. Yeah, so you let off these 2 arrows in quick succession, point blank range, and just this weird skeletal makeup. You can tell that, like, the arms are like almost like bird wings, but the skull is some kind of like maybe a fox, some kind of small carnivorous something. The bones don't match up to any coherent skeleton, and that becomes more and more apparent as you let off these arrows. One of them just zooms straight through the torso of this creature, once more ripping away parts of this tattered blue dress and cracking maybe a vertebrae on its path and trajectory through. But none of the bones match up. Even bones along the rib cage seem to be different sizes and assortments, and it's just this weird amalgamation held together by whatever evil energies are making up this place.
Gross. Kashak does not like that, and therefore will stride the 15 feet to the other end of the room without taking the clumsy penalty.
Okay.
So that's my third action there.
So, Kashak, you step over to the other side of the room. And as you do so, the almost deafening voices that are in your mind begin to quiet a bit. You are no longer stupefied.
Nice! It didn't do anything at all to me, but that's nice.
Okay, and now it is Dr. Forsyth. Right next to this thing.
Right.
What you gonna do?
The doctor doesn't like that this thing has been messing with his mind, messing with his party's mind. He's just gonna stand and bang. He's gonna swing out. Well, he's gonna attempt to devise a stratagem first. Figure out the best way to harm this skeletal figure.
Sure.
Interestingly enough, stupefied I think would impact devise a stratagem because it is technically an intelligence-based roll.
Yeah, absolutely.
That does
So
happen.
it's
Are you
like
Are you stupefied too?
So yeah, so I'm stupefied and enfeebled, which is
Yep.
why I've got these 2 symbols on.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, gotcha. That's
So I'm
pretty
This thing
bad.
does a
assuming
lot
that-
of status effects. Does a lot of
Yeah.
effects and conditions.
Yeah. wonder, stupid.
Oh, a natty 18. So that would be with that's a 26 for that roll, which I think the doctor is on his second action going to take that. He feels like he has found a weak point in the rib cage of this figure, and he is going to slash out with his short sword with that roll.
Nice.
26 to
Absolutely.
hit.
Yeah, so that does hit. You're able to find purchase on the same piece that Twinkle Toes had just gouged. You're able to break cleanly sections of bone away from this creature. How much damage?
Twinkle Toes, do you benefit from it being flat-footed besides just it having a lower AC? Does that give you anything?
I don't believe she gets anything
Sure.
extra.
Because your panache is from your performance check,
Yeah.
right? Or acrobatics, rather. Okay.
Well, it's one and the
this
same for me.
Oh, sure. Right. This is going to trigger, I think for the first time potentially, a feat that I have called Shared Stratagem.
Yay!
Which
Yeah,
you can
it
do,
also
like,
makes.
first will.
I think it also makes my tumble throughs easier.
Yeah, it will.
Cool. That was 1 point of slashing and 3 points of precision.
Okay.
And really quick, does the precision look like it's going through? Do we feel like we're getting full bang for our buck on it?
It seems like it's taking damage. Yeah. You're more than welcome to roll me some applicable check to see if there might be any difference. Yeah.
Did we do knowledge checks last time? on this
You
thing?
did.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't get much out of it,
That's how
I
I know it's an
believe.
attic
Yeah, I
whisper,
didn't think
yeah.
we had.
I
Did
believe
specifically do one?
Bastro did a religion check on it.
Okay, then also, I would like to do a free recall knowledge, which I get when I
Absolutely.
do devise a stratagem.
Go ahead and roll me a religion.
Religion. Not a great roll. It's a 15 total.
15.
Oh no,
total.
it'd be a 14. 14 total.
You don't learn anything new.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
But I will say, since you have been damaging it, and you already have some knowledge from Bastro, maybe you're focusing in specifically on your strikes as you're doing so. I would say a 14 is good enough to realize that seems you're doing as much damage as you would expect with the type of hits that you are dealing.
And then also, this triggers my shared stratagem feat, which says the creature is flat-footed to that ally on the next attack. So I can designate an ally who the
Sure.
next time they attack, they're flat-footed. So I'm going to
Sure.
designate Twinkle Toes, and the next attack action Twinkle Toes takes against this thing, it will be flat-footed.
And does it say attack or does it say strike?
The next attack the
Okay.
designated ally makes against
So
that
anything
creature.
with the attack trait. So I don't know if Tumble Through
Yeah,
has the
attack
attack
trait.
trait. I don't remember off the top of my
It's
head.
move.
Okay.
Does
yeah.
not have the attack trait.
So it
yeah.
wouldn't help with the Tumble Through. It does help with swinging your sword though.
That's okay.
Which is all good. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
Is that the end of your turn?
Third
Sorry.
action,
Oh, no.
I'm going to raise my buckler.
Seems like a fairly seems like a fairly good move there. Okay. That was the end of the turn. You all are now starting to chip away, slowly but carefully. And yet it is now this creature's turn. It's now this creature's turn.
Zoinks.
Oh lord, oh lord,
Oh, like,
oh lord.
The creature self-destruct.
Just detonates.
First, it is going to use its jaws. It's going to make it. Yes, it's going to use its jaws against Dr. Forsyth. And try to bite out at you. Again, this
Bring
like
it
small, like canid, like skull and jaw just tries to chomp, or clamp. One of the two. Pick one.
Clomp.
Down on
I
your
pick,
leg.
I pick clump.
Tries to clomp on your leg. That is an 18 to hit.
Miss.
Miss. Okay. You see it then is going to swipe out with its claws at Forsyth. Ooh, that one
And
looked a little better.
The doctor is he's gonna ricochet it off with his buckler. He's gonna say, "See everyone, we're doing great. We can do this."
Oh gosh.
As he gets swiped across the legs from a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
as he gets swiped across the legs with this thing's claws. That is going to do a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, this thing hits like a truck, doesn't
This
it?
thing hurts.
I forgot about that.
You take 10 points of negative damage.
Wow.
10 points of negative damage, and I need you to go ahead and roll me a will save.
Will save, you say?
Will you save your
That's
will
my
save?
best one, luckily. 22.
Just see here. So, this thing swipes across your legs. You feel
That wasn't bad.
the pain of this almost cold burn across your legs. And you feel the breath almost escaping, like your throat is being clamped down upon.
Okay.
You can still talk, but only
Okay.
just barely.
Oh.
If you attempt any actions with the auditory traits, you have to succeed at a DC 5 flat check. So there's no specific
Okay.
there's no specific condition for this, but it feels like there's like a vice around your throat, as you can
Wow. Okay.
barely breathe
tube.
and barely manage to get words out. Anytime you try to speak or to do anything with an auditory trait, you need a DC 5 flat check.
Cool.
Ugh. Okay.
What a cool little like creature specific condition.
And it's going to sidle on up here with its last action. Twinkle Toes.
Right. Let's see. I'm gonna move here. Is that what I want to do, or do I want to tumble through? Nah, I'll just stride up to there.
Mhm.
And second action strike.
Okay.
Against flat-footed. Am I still blessed?
You're
No,
not.
you are outside of the 5-foot range. For
You're
both.
outside of the 5 foot. Yep.
Bastro could next turn extend the range. We'll see what he does.
Okay. Alright, well. Natural 13 for 23 to hit.
That will hit.
It is flat-footed.
Right.
It is flat-footed.
I meant to say this was a confident finisher. Since it was
I'll let you do
flat-footed.
it.
Thank
I'll let
you.
do it.
Thank you.
Wow.
Appreciate it.
What a benevolent GM that was.
It's one of those things where it's like it's gonna deal damage anyway, and she's just gonna get panache back anyway. So like,
Yeah. You don't lose much.
Alright, that's
she has
10
succeeded in
points
getting
of
panache every time.
It's 2 points of regular slashing damage,
Okay.
and then 10 points of precision damage.
Whoa.
That's precision.
Oh,
I
Oh,
rolled a
that's,
6 and a 4 on
that's
the
2d6, right?
precision.
oh,
that's awesome.
2d6 precision, yeah.
that is juice right there. That's what that
Yeah.
is. You have one more action, correct?
Yeah, I just spent my panache, so I'm gonna attempt another tumble through.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it. It will not take the flat-footed penalty for this, however.
Yeah. Okay, that's a 21.
Whereas you last time felt like you just barely got through with the 22, didn't quite
Oh.
make it with the 21.
Okay.
So you're still
I'll
stuck
stay
in
there.
that square, yeah.
What does it
It
mean?
uses the action though.
It does. It does use
Yeah.
the action.
Okay.
If you fail to tumble through, you are stopped in your movement from the square that you would be entering from.
All right. That's the end of my turn.
A valiant attempt, however, this time it's like it's got like the cages on either side, and it is like nipping at Dr. Forsyth's heels, so it's just occupying all of the space that you would really have to get through, and I'm a little scary to try to make that distance with so little space.
Okay.
Also, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but even on Twinkle Toes, it's only up to about Twinkle Toes' shoulders.
Oh, it's
it is.
Tiny.
It's tiny, and it's just like, but again, these voices just claw at your mind around you. Oh, Kashak, as it stepped up there, I'm gonna need you to roll another will save. As the voices, though at
Resume.
one point, the voices were quiet, it now got closer to you, and the voices kick up again. However, Bastro, you are no longer stupefied.
Oh,
Will
hell yeah.
save 16 on the will save.
You are stupefied.
Yep. I'm not immune to that aura. After I guess I haven't passed the save yet, so
Correct. You are not immune.
gotcha. Cool.
So, that. Twinkle just went, which means Bastro, you are no longer stupefied. You can act as if you weren't, because you aren't.
Excellent. Bastro is going to take a second
It's a
to
weird
protect
sentence, but we just
himself.
went with it.
He's going to cast a sanctuary on himself.
Oh,
So now if the creature tries to attack him, it needs to make a will save before
Sanctuary is
just
just
to
one of
even
those,
touch me.
one of those classic spells, man. You just
Yeah, really
Love
good.
it.
gotta love Sanctuary. Across all editions of Pathfinder and way back in D&D.
I like to imagine that Bastro steps into this room finally and just sees like the wailing voices or shroud or whatever, and he just like immediately protects himself. He's just like,
No.
okay, I'm just gonna
Yeah, be like,
put
I
an
don't
aura
want
on myself.
any of
Shield
this. None of
Shield.
this. Yeah, for sure.
Not
And then
Is that
my
two
last
actions?
action,
Yeah.
I will actually not sustain. I'm gonna use an action to increase the emanation of my bless.
Yes.
So now both Twinkletoes and the Doctor feel the light emitting from me. I don't know how the Doctor feels about that though, because it
the
is.
doctor's gonna roll a DC 5 flat check to try to speak when that happens, and he fails.
It's almost like you have strep throat where you try to push the words out. It just feels like glass in your throat. You're just unable.
Bastard's
to
gonna be
get
like,
anything
Doctor,
out.
are you okay with this? And the Doctor's gonna be like, ah.
You do, fortunately.
Okay, cool.
Both Twinkletoes and not Kashak, Twinkletoes and Forsyth, as you are facing this creature, you feel just like a glowing warmth emanating out from behind you. The faint wisps of like the smells of mead and smoked meats begin to emanate as this warm sensation, almost like that of a hearty tavern on a night off, begins to just kind of emanate from behind you. Meanwhile, everything in front of you is just pure horror. So keep that in mind. That's the end of Bastro's turn. Kashak.
Here's some interesting questions. If my claw attacks are finesse, then they would be dexterity based, is that right? For the purposes of clumsy.
I think they have to be.
Let me look
Yeah.
up the finesse trait.
That means you can use.
You
It
add
says
your
you
dex
can.
modifier.
It says you can. It does not say you do.
I would need to, because then there'd be no difference between me using my strength, which is one lower than my dex. Anyway, and then if I move to this square, that is not within the 10-foot radius of
It
bless. It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Is that not 15? That's 10, right? Okay,
That's
so I'll
10.
move there.
Yeah.
There we go. And then he will take a hunted shot.
It's gonna get just a smidge, just a tiny smidge of cover.
Right, I'm just gonna put this into the ether. Just gonna put this out there. I
Yeah,
have
but
this whole.
it's also a very small.
Got this
It's also
whole
a
right
tiny
side.
creature.
Got this entire right side to
Also a
shoot at.
tiny
Corner.
Mechanically tiny.
Corner to
Not
corner.
Mechanically tiny.
Also got this corner to corner to shoot at with no obstructions.
Not mechanically tiny. Mechanically, I think it's small.
I love the nitpicking.
I'm just gonna propose this square as well, so I have 3 corners to shoot at that don't have any obstructions.
It is mechanically small. All right,
Not
I'll
tiny.
give it to you this time. Don't say I never did anything for you.
I will.
Then
All
it
right,
has
so I still have-
it has cover. Never mind.
I have the blessed bonus, so here comes the first arrow. Is a not great.
And this
That
is a
is
100 shot, correct?
Yeah, this is a 19 on the first arrow.
Yeah, and it's no longer flat-footed from Forsyth's thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't
Well,
hit.
only Twinkletoes got flat-footed.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
only
It's a
I
specific enemy
got-
for one attack, right?
Second arrow is a 22, I believe.
Oh.
That will hit.
22.
That will
okay,
hit.
Still one arrow hits, which is
Just-
all you really hope for.
Pumping arrows into this thing.
Ooh, good damage. Okay, so that is 6 piercing from the arrow, and then also 6 precision from my hunter's edge.
Yeah, if there were any meat on this thing's
Oh, edgy.
bones, it would be a pincushion at this point. However, What was the total damage you did, by the way? I heard this
12 total.
12 total. Yeah, you can just
12
give
total.
me the total amount
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Okay, cool.
You guys see that it's all of your attacks are doing as much damage as it says on the tin. Yeah, this thing
And
is
then-
starting to crack. You see like little like bits of like bone shards begin to pop up, and as they do, this like black hazy steam just
Gross.
emanates off of its injuries as it begins to slowly attack after attack. You're just whittling away at this creature's whatever physical form it has left.
And as Kashak sees that he's starting to like break this thing down, I think he's gonna run all the way across the room to give flanking for Twinkle Toes, try to catch this thing on the back
Okay.
foot
Yeah.
and provide some bonus to her.
Yeah, good looks for sure.
That's it. That's what I'll do.
Dr. Forsyth.
Doctor's first action is going to be to step to here. And then his second action, he is going to devise a stratagem and try to find purchase, as you said, on it again.
Devise away, my friend.
He realizes that he's like limping from where this thing just like slashed him across the leg.
Mm-hmm.
So with his third action, he's not going to strike out at it. Instead, he's actually going to battle medicine himself.
Now-
That's what he's going to.
Quick question for you.
Okay.
Can you still get the free check even if you fail to devise a stratagem?
That's a good question. Let me really quick look up the known weakness feat.
Well, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it's just whenever I devise a stratagem, not when I
So-
like trigger it.
I'll let
It's
you, if
whenever
you
I
would
do
like
it.
to, I'll let you make a case for another skill besides religion that would apply.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Because while this thing is technically undead, you would know that, there are other ways that this thing could become.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
Well, I assume that there was a hefty amount of magic that likely went on with this thing. So Arcana or Occult.
I'll accept a cult for sure.
Yeah, so I'll do an Occult roll.
For anyone who actually knows the
ooh.
rules of this game, technically you can't, but that's no fun.
Good roll. That is a 25.
20.
Nice.
Yeah, so you like rack your brain prior to this moment for any kind of religious significance to the undead nature of this creature, and you can't come up with anything more. However, in your various studies, especially in dealing with injuries potentially from these creatures, maybe you've seen people who have lost their voice from this creature before that have popped up in your clinics. Maybe not in this life, but who knows. At some point along the line, you had cause to research this creature specifically, and you found knowledge in some of the more occult texts that you might have procured to do so. You guys have kind of seen a lot of what it can do. However, namely, it steals voices, and those voices are forever added into its repertoire.
Forever?
I assume until it is dead again
Oh,
or
hopefully.
destroyed.
You would know that they do come back to the person. However, this creature would have a mimicry of that voice for as long as it is whole. So you
It
will,
always has my
Yes.
voice, but I get mine back eventually. Okay, yeah.
you would know the Kashak will probably go about
An Ariel Ursula transaction.
essentially.
Exactly, yeah.
Kashak won't have his voice for probably about an hour, so you know that. Furthermore, if this thing bites you, as Dr. Forsyth himself has experienced, you know that it saps the breath from your lungs and causes you to become enfeebled if you fail your fortitude save. And finally, the area of effect where the voices are most concentrated. They can be heard from farther away, but if you get within 10 feet, that is when you suffer the risk of becoming stupefied.
Got it.
So you all knew, kind of just.
Good to hear from the mechanics though, like what the
extracts.
actual.
Yeah. Abstractly, you knew kind of what it does, but those are the more
Yeah.
specific. And you would know that. I think the most important thing for you guys right now is that Barring anything else you could do, Kashak will get his voice back after about an hour.
So I think the doctor is going to try and speak all this information to the party, but he's got to roll a flat check to
It
do
does,
so.
in fact.
16 on the die.
Yeah, you
which
can
is
speak,
a
but
wasted
you
high
have this
roll,
like
but yeah.
hoarse.
Yeah, he's like,
And it's
Shop,
painful.
you'll get your voice back in an hour after we destroy this thing. Careful of its bite in particular. And as he's saying this, he's like reaching for his healer tools and trying to patch up his leg where this thing just gnawed
Yeah.
into his thigh. And I'm gonna do a battle medicine going for the DC 20 higher DC check.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay, that's that's a 24. So I
Man,
got
I
it.
was really hoping for the 9, so you just did like 4d6 of damage to yourself.
It's actually impossible for me to crit fail. It's even the
And
DC
that-
20.
nope,
It's impossible.
You can
for me to
always
crit
roll a
fail.
1.
Oh, that's fair. I can
Yeah.
roll a 1. That's fair. So I'll tell you what the healing is. That's
Yep.
my third action.
It is now the top of round 5.
Nice.
It's this creature's turn once
Oh,
more.
no.
25 points of healing.
It is going to walk around Kashak. It doesn't like the fact that you all are flanking it, and go figure. And Kashak, being the last one to injure it, is going to be the object of its wrath.
All right.
As it tries again to bite you. Ooh. That one, I think, is gonna, 27 on the bite.
That hits.
Okay, so that will hit you for, especially since Dr. Forsyth told you to look out for the bite, 10 points of piercing damage
Okay.
as this thing's jaw just clamps right
Clumps.
around your knee. Clumps right down.
Yeah.
Furthermore, I need you to roll me a fortitude save.
18.
You are enfeebled 1
That's not good.
and fatigued
That's even worse.
as you feel all of the air, almost like falling on your back or getting hit in the chest. Just all of the air is pulled from your lungs, and you have trouble regaining any of it, if at all. This is significantly more severe than what
Kashak,
happened to.
Kashak currently has
Foresight.
4 status conditions and no voice.
It's then going to attempt to claw you with its final action.
Why not?
But it's a natural 1, so you know what goes around comes around, I guess.
Nice.
So it gets like this big, meaty bite onto your leg, and then like rips some of the scales off, and then it pulls back for a claw. But just instinctually, your leg, you, as it's injured, pull it away at the last second to avoid the secondary attack. Twinkle Toes, you see Kashak just getting absolutely wailed on.
Yep.
No pun intended, due to all of the wailing in this room.
I'm gonna tumble through to this space if I may.
You can certainly try, yeah. We just
All
double check,
right.
is there any crate? Nope. So you're good.
Nope.
And you're small, so you're good, yeah. Double good.
That is a 24.
That is a success.
Fantastic, and I get panache.
Once more into the breach.
And I am flanking. So it is flat-footed, yes?
Tis in fact, yes.
All
Well,
right.
it is technically flanked, which means it is technically flat-footed, yes.
All right.
All of that just
So,
to say yes.
Cool. I am going to make a confident finisher strike at
I'd love to see you try.
this guy.
I'd
All
love to see you
right.
try.
I'm gonna hero point that.
Yo.
There you go.
That was a 4 on the die, by the way.
This creature has claimed, I think, 5 hero points across 2 episodes.
That's a 19 on the die.
Yo, great hero point economy.
Excellent hero point.
So that's
Excellent
a 29
hero
to
point,
hit.
Oh, I thought you meant 19 total.
No, 19 on the die.
29
you were-
against flat-footed?
You were about to be very sad. Yeah.
Against flat-footed.
Critical success? Critical success?
It's not a critical success.
Oh,
It's not a critical
Flat-footed?
success. Even
Flat-footed
with
is
flat-footed, it's not a critical
wow.
success. It's
Okay.
exceptionally close, but it is not a critical success.
I think it's
Well-
one off.
You said
Um,
29 for the total, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were 1 off of a crit.
Oh
not
my
good.
God.
with flat-footed.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. That is 3 points of what is it? Slashing damage. And 8 points of precision damage.
Y'all need to like buy Twinkle Toes some quality gin or something, because she's literally saving her asses right now.
Laughing this thing.
And-
solid damage. This thing is, you now, again, as you're just cutting away at it, breaking off bones, maybe this time you catch it right across the back, just severing 3 of the ribs from its cage, as now the tattered blue just falls to the ground and swooshes across the attic. You watch as more of this dark mist and screaming and wailing begins to just pile and almost just exude out of the injuries.
Good word.
But as this happens, the voices get quieter and quieter, and you notice now that there are fewer and fewer of these individual and distinct voices, as it looks to be crumbling almost before you. Sing looks messed up.
Hurt.
I am going to flourish my dueling cape. Get that AC bonus.
Such a cool item.
That's the end of my turn.
Such a
That's
cool
a
item.
very cool item.
What is that? That's from Advanced Player's Guide? Is that right?
I don't know.
I don't know, but
Pretty
it's
sure
cool.
it is.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Um,
That and like the parrying scabbard as like shield
Yeah.
alternative.
yeah. Just really cool ways to get that shield bonus without actually having a shield.
Having a shield. Yeah.
Cool. So that is Twinkle Toes' turn, which means Bastro. You're up.
Oh man, Bastro, glowing basically, has like this shield around him as
Bastro's
well.
Radiating, as you would say.
Just gonna casually step into the room, closer to the thing. 5,
Finally.
10.
I need you to go ahead
And,
and roll me a will save.
Oh. Oh boy.
As- Despite the fact that they have quieted, they are still assaulting your mind.
Yeah, you still might get stupefied.
Alright, hold on 1 second. Oh, we'll save is +8 at this point.
Remind me, for flanking, this thing is flat-footed to the 2 of you. It's not just flat-footed in general.
Correct. If it is flanked to you, because you are flanking it,
I
it
got
is
10.
flat-footed to you, not to everybody else.
Right, it's not flat-footed
10?
in general. Okay.
Yes.
That's not good.
It doesn't
That's
sound
pretty
good.
bad.
It's not good.
That sounds bad. You're not
That
gonna
could
hero
be-
point that?
It could be critically not good.
You know what? I'll be fine. It's fine.
All right. Yikes.
Too early to.
You
Go
are
ahead.
very lucky in that there is actually no critical failure effect for this creature.
Oh.
However, you're still
Stupefied
stupefied.
700.
You're still stupefied, for sure.
Stupefied 1 or 2?
1.
1, okay.
I feel like that should be the
Alright.
critical. 6
You
critical
would
failure
think
now.
so, but it doesn't list
Yeah.
it. It has a bunch of unique effects, and it lists for all of them except for the aura. It has a critical failure and a critical success.
Maybe that's the balancing then. I don't know.
Well, let's
So
talk about
this
Go ahead.
Astro 100% knows that this creature is undead, right? Like,
Yes.
there's no question about it.
Without a doubt.
obviously.
Without a doubt.
Okay. Astro, in his stupefied state, he's gonna do something that maybe he wouldn't have done if
That
he
might
was clear of
stupefy.
mind.
Yeah.
He's gonna attempt a flat check of a D6.
Yes,
or
he is.
DC6.
He absolutely is.
So let me do that
DC
first.
5. Or does it say
It's,
DC 6?
it's 5. It's 5 plus stupefied condition. so
Ah.
DC6.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
Good to know. I didn't know that. We're constantly learning. I've played this game for almost 2 years and we're still learning.
Too much, man. Too much to learn. Oh no!
Oh no.
And I bet you wish it was 5 now.
Oh no!
Uh,
5.
Hero point.
No.
Hero point.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
There
That's
it is,
fine.
there
It's a
it
good thing
is,
you didn't use
there
it for the
is.
save, because
Incoming 4. Incoming 4.
See, yeah, dude. Don't say that. Okay,
hero
there we go.
point
There it
economy. Rolled the 18.
Good.
Got
Hero
it in
point
there.
economy.
God, man.
I just really wanted to get this spelling. I thought it was funny.
let's see
Sebastian
that.
is going to cast Life Boost on the Attic Whisperer.
Oh.
And so you just see him do the circle in front
Oh,
of the
that's
Attic Whisperer.
fun.
And the Attic Whisperer now has a halo around its head.
Oh, cool. And it's positive energy,
Feeling
so
positive energy.
Yep.
Okay.
And last action, because that's only a single action spell, I'm going to cast Shield on myself. So let me roll 1d20 again.
really cool.
But I am stuck like right next to this guy. I'm scared. So a 6 fails or passes?
On
A 6 passes.
your 6 passes.
It's DC
Okay.
6, so you pass
Thank
with,
God.
with a
Okay,
match.
so a shield
Five and then a
erupts
6.
around Bastro, basically.
Why you seem puzzled, Will?
It's just interesting. I'm reading the spell and it doesn't have any way for like an undead creature to like resist it.
Yeah.
Just healing,
It's just a
fast healing.
hex. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
there any like save? There's no save against like a hostile target or a non-willing target or anything
Well,
like that.
It doesn't say anything like that.
It doesn't say that it is positive energy. It says it gains fast healing, which is very different. So you might want to rethink that one.
Different. That is
Regains the listed amount of hit points each round at the beginning of its turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would heal
Okay,
from
It
that.
fine.
would heal this creature.
Okay, fine. I thought it was positive. I'm reading the spell now. It
Yeah.
does not say positive healing.
So
Instead of
for,
that-
for our
instead-
listening audience, most healing spells use positive energy to
Yeah.
heal the target. Undead, however, take the opposite. If they are hit by positive energy, it actually harms them. Same thing with negative energy. Like this thing does negative energy damage, but if it did that to an undead creature, that would gain health from the negative energy. In this case, this spell just gives a creature a trait known as fast healing, which means that it just regains health every turn. Doesn't specify what type, and it just heals. So this probably isn't the thing you want to be doing. So what else would you like to do?
Okay, so instead of that one spell, I'll still keep the shield spell up.
Yeah.
But
And
I'll
you
pull a
already
scroll.
passed the check for it.
Right. Okay. Cool. I'll pull a scroll out of my bag or out of my bandolier or whatever.
Okay.
And that'll end my turn.
Sounds good. Yeah, I was really worried until I realized it doesn't actually do positive. It's like normally.
So-
So does
I
that mean
should've read
he
it.
didn't use his hero point then?
No, he still used it because he used the hero point on shield.
No, I
he
used it-
the
I used
hero
it on
point
the-
on the whispers.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did.
That's tricky. I don't know. How nice is Will feeling tonight? That's the question.
All right, go ahead and roll a D100,
800.
and on a 1
Are you-
to 75, you have a 75% chance of getting it back.
Wow. Not a D1000, right?
No.
Or you could just do something really cool. Yeah, you got it back.
Oh.
15 would get you back.
The heroic element was that you recognized it was fast healing and not positive energy, and you were about to cast it, and then
Yeah.
you took it back, and you're like,
You're
no.
in the middle of casting the
I was-
spell.
I was almost
That's
too
How my
really-
magic better than this?
Or conversely, you all could just do something really cool and get a hero point the normal way.
Decline.
I didn't think you guys would be interested.
Heroic stuff requires risks, and I don't like
Scroll
risks.
now drawn. Shield now applied. It is currently Kashak's turn.
This square here, is there any sort of, with the cages and everything,
Nope.
is there any problem with that? Okay, so I'm going to stride to there, remove my clumsy condition, which is
Yep.
great. And then I will
are in
take...
the range of bless.
I'm still in the range of bless, so I will take a hunted shot with that bless bonus. First arrow coming out, that is a... Ooh, that's good. That's like a 24, I think. Yep. And then second arrow is... lower. That's going to be like a 13.
Okay.
So one arrow strikes. That is, I believe... Bless is just attack bonus, right? It's not damage.
Right.
Yes.
That is 7 points of total damage.
Okay. And as you let off 2 arrows, one goes wide, crashing into the stone wall behind. The other, however, manages, as this thing opens its jaw to attempt to clamp down on Dr. Forsyth, just goes straight through the back of the skull, shattering it completely. You all hear one last, almost excruciating yell as all of the remaining voices cry out in pain and fear and panic.
Including Kashaks.
And the last thing you hear as you watch the bone crumble and collapse in this almost fog in this square of black steam hissing violently in front of you. The last thing you hear is the voice of Cora. Just saying, in a whisper as it disappears.
Oh.
You're now out of combat, or I should say, out of encounter mode.
What about our conditions? What happens with those?
If you're stupefied, you're no longer stupefied. Everything else has a specific amount of time, which I will
Got it.
make you aware of.
Fatigued, enfeebled, lost of voice.
Correct.
Etc.
Correct. Everything else
Okay.
has a specific amount of time. So with that, I will ask you to let me know how much time you are taking to do things, because it's important.
The doctor tries to speak, but he can't, as he has.
Did you roll another
he's
check?
got, I
Oh
rolled a
my
3
God.
on the flat check, and he just takes off his healer's tools and starts looking at folks.
Shock's hand goes up.
I'm fine, actually. I didn't get hit.
Yeah, Master is pretty safe. He's good
That
to go.
That was a pretty easy fight for me, actually.
It must be nice. It must be nice.
She was right on my level.
I think the doctor's gonna point downstairs. He doesn't want to stay up here.
Master wants to check the corpse or whatever.
Is
the
there a
bag
stolen
of
corpse?
bones.
Does it like disappear, or
There's like a
is there
pile
body?
of bone dust, and there are. Let me double check.
With a quick glance around, does there look like there's anything valuable up here?
Let's take the cage.
You go through it, and one in the square that the creature died or re-died, however you want to call it, looks to just be a pile of like whatever was left of the tattered blue dress, especially after scraping and scratching so much of it away. The dilapidated and tattered stuffed rabbit that it was carrying, and the rest is just a pile of looks like bone dust from where the creature's form finally disintegrated. In terms of the rest of the room, it looks like there are not much up here besides the cages. Some of the cages are empty and open. Some of them have scraps of rotting meat of some variety. It looks like at some point some animals were kept up here, but none of them are left alive. As
Nothing
you find
valuable.
like some corpse, or I shouldn't even say corpses. They're like remnants of bones. You might think that some of these bones were what contributed to the physical form of whatever creature this was.
But nothing
Kashak-
valuable.
Nothing valuable.
I head
Kashak
downstairs.
Kashak will pick up the rabbit, the stuffed bunny, and then walk downstairs.
Kashak, you know you can't eat that, right? As Bastard
Kashak just-
walks downstairs.
Glares at you.
Could one of you gents move this desk that I put in
Oh
front
yeah,
of the
you
door?
guys threw the desk in front of the door and make sure nothing
No,
else came.
I
Yes.
pushed
Twinkle
with
toes.
a natural 20 athletics check.
Right, that's right.
So you can do it all yourself.
The first time, I don't want to do it again.
Really quickly, Kashak will kind of place the bunny next to the bed that Rosso's in, and then go move the desk for his good friend Twinkle Toes. You want athletics for that?
Yeah.
Is Bless still active, Bastro?
It's no, it's been a minute, so I'll
Okay.
say no.
That is a 13 athletics.
Yeah, I mean you still get it. It just takes probably about 2-3 minutes of prying and wiggling to finally
And
get it
as-
back over into the space.
As he's doing this, he's just looking at Twinkle Toes like, you moved this? Like you're. He's like this gigantic creature, like struggling to move, and he remembers watching her just like.
No, I was out of breath afterwards.
So what is the plan? You all have come back down to this tower level. I believe Dr. Forsyth would like to do some healing. Rolso is still unconscious and I believe tied up. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely tied her ass up.
Unconscious and
Um,
tied up in the bed. What would you all like to do?
The doctor points at Kashak and then at the chair right in front of him.
Kashak sits in the chair.
You do also
And-
have a key ring that you all
Mhm.
got from Rolso.
Oh, I forgot about that. Unless there are objections, I'm going to spend 10 minutes treating wounds on Kashak.
Go for it. Baxter is going to suggest that we go room to room now. Now that it seems like we've taken care of the major threats in this. What's it called? Dreaming
Well,
Palace.
I'm doing DC 20.
Sure.
Kashak will kind of point towards this room, the room that we were checking at the same time as this one we're in currently, and he'll like claw motion as well, like kind of do that on repeat to kind of say like there are still enemies in there for sure. We know that.
In this southern room?
Yeah.
Or which room?
In this room, the one we haven't, but yeah, this room right here to the kind of southwest. Kashak heard voices across the door, and then we chose to go into this
so
room instead of the other room.
You checked at the door of this room, and you did hear. You couldn't make out anything that was said, but you did hear whispering voices behind it. Furthermore, there is a door to the south here. Otherwise, there are a bunch of rooms downstairs that you haven't checked, and then there were another few doors far to the left here that were locked the first time you attempted to get through them. You would now assume that you have the keys to them somewhere.
Keys have been attained.
So Kashak, how many hit points were you down?
I was 18 of 44.
You're back at full.
Okay.
And the doctor tries to speak again, and I rolled a natural 1.
Oh no!
I don't know why you even try at this point.
The doctor's just gonna motion like he's just gonna point like in the current room and just like do
Stay?
this.
Okay.
You want
Yeah.
us to stay? You don't want us to try to rescue other people that might be... 1 minute? 1 hour. Seems like a long time. I read the diary again. I sit down in the chair and just go through it again.
So
See if
how
there's
long are you
anything
all
in it.
planning to stay here?
Well, so the doctor shared with everyone that our voices will all come back. Those who have lost them or are partially lost them will come back in an hour.
Which would now be 50 minutes because you spent 10 minutes treating
Right.
my wounds.
Be about 40. You guys have spent 10 minutes between checking upstairs
Right.
and coming back down here and all that
So-
stuff. So it's been about 20 minutes.
The doctor's trying to communicate that he wants to wait a total of an hour because I don't want to go exploring rooms when people can't speak. If like especially since Kashak I think has been the one going in first at a lot of places.
That's a good point.
Dr. Forsyth, after about 30 minutes, your voice feels like it has come back to full strength. Your throat might be a little dry, but
Good. I failed 3 checks out of the 4 I rolled.
Gosh.
I mean, you guys would know that Kashak like doesn't need his voice to really do a lot of his stuff. Like he's pretty...
Other than give us the advantage on initiative.
I can do it visually. I don't need
Oh.
to speak.
does it
to
have
you.
the
I
auditory
can-
trait?
It attains the auditory or visual trait depending on what I use to indicate what's going on. So if I like wave my hand behind at you before I shoot an arrow, you get the visual trait to know something's going on.
That's really cool.
It doesn't have either one; it gains it depending on what action you take.
Sweet.
And Kashak's a pretty brooding, quiet kind of guy. Not brooding, but quiet.
The
You know.
doctor, now that he feels his voice come back, say, I still would like some time to quickly replenish my medical supplies so that we're fully able to go into this hell hotel.
Hell Hotel.
How
It's
long
Hell
do
Ho-
you need for
Hell
that,
Hotel.
Doctor?
The remainder of 1 total hour since we ended the combat.
So I will
Uh,
just remind that both Kashak and Forsyth, you are still let's see here.
I am enfeebled 1 and fatigued currently, and I don't have my voice yet.
Yeah, you both are still both of those things. Enfeebled
Yeah.
and fatigued.
Oh.
But I don't
Then,
think that's
yeah,
going to
we
go
should wait
away.
for those.
I don't think fatigued is going to go away until I rest, and then I don't think
I don't-
enfeebled is going to go away for very long. Enfeebled doesn't do much for me. It's just like -1 damage.
Was I fatigued?
Yes.
Oh,
Fatigued and
I
enfeebled. It's fine,
Did
we're
you
not
get
going to go
bit?
back. I'll just have everybody take 10 more damage because of that, since you didn't really able to do anything. And we'll just continue
just-
on. Yeah, it'll be fine.
I just think that I'm going to get these things back when I get them back. I don't think it's worth waiting for, to be honest. Kashak's just going to use his 2 claws, like motion out, like let's go if we need to.
The doctor is really gonna say he wants to wait.
Okay.
So, again, I'll ask, how long are you waiting?
A total hour after the combat ended.
Is there anything that you guys are specifically doing during this hour?
I am going through the journal again.
Sure. I've kind of
The
gone through pretty much everything in the journal. You already passed that. If you had any specific questions about it, feel free to ask. But you pretty much have gained all of the information from the journal.
Do I find any secret codes about the Copper Hand?
The only thing related to the Copper Hand that you find are the note that had the note that was given to her, and then the one entry at the very end of the journal referencing what it had specifically meant. Let me see if
Do I find anything written in anything that just seems like maybe it's code? I don't know.
No, not really. Seems pretty
Do
straightforward.
I find a Sudoku in there?
You find a Sudoku that she had copied down from a newspaper but hadn't finished yet.
Cool, I do it.
Roll me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Shock's gonna stay posted up in the doorway, just on high alert at guard status. Just posted.
14.
Unfortunately, it's just a little bit too difficult. You're missing 4 squares. If you had maybe 1 or 2 more numbers, you might be able to finish it. But in the given amount of time, you're just barely unable
In
to
an
get it.
hour? Oh, dang, Twinkle Toes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The doctor the rest of the time is just like replenishing vials and wrapping up new bandages. He's just getting medical supplies ready.
Okay. With the remainder of that hour passes by uneventfully, everything seeming to settle into some semblance of uneasy quiet, as it is now about 12:30 in the morning. Even the noise, the din from the outside of passing travelers throughout the precipice quarter, either going to or returning from the festival grounds, seems to begin to die away. The lights dimming as more and more of the street lamps are put out. Kashak and Forsyth are still enfeebled and fatigued. And that's actually where we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Good stopping point. We will be back in about 16 minutes, so 8:40 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all so much for joining us again as we get back into this adventure. We'll be back very shortly, and if you're liking what you're seeing so far and you haven't already, we'd love you to follow us both here and on Twitter and on YouTube. We're gonna getting our YouTube ready here to go soon.
Get the whole thing.
And if you have the Amazon Prime and you haven't used your Prime subscription yet, you can do that. It's free. You can subscribe to us for free.
$3.99
with Amazon Prime subscription. So it'd be major help in supporting us. But once again, we appreciate all of you, and we'll see you again in 15 minutes.
See you soon.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. Before we jump into it, just another quick shout out to our friends over at the Outlaw Network. I saw that they were in here a little earlier. If you are interested in anything like horror or like Cthulhu mythos, for instance, I have my very own copy of the Necronomicon, which is all of the works of H.P. Lovecraft. If you're interested in like cosmic horror, Cthulhu, mystery, investigation, anything like that, they play Call of Cthulhu, which is a really cool system. So if you have the time, check them out. I believe they play Thursday nights, Jack.
Thursday nights, yeah,
Thursday
and they
nights?
do actually a pretty wide variety of content. I think they started getting into 5e and some other stuff. They do some
Nice.
pretty like fun stuff on some Thursdays too. So
Yeah,
they're
so
a pretty
go-
cool network.
Yeah, definitely go check them out. Big friends of ours. So shout out to those guys over there. Anyway, we're gonna jump back into our own horror story right here in Galarian and Absalom in the Dreaming Palace, where things are going all kinds of nutty. You guys have been sitting here for about an hour, and Kashak and Forsyth, you don't feel any better outside of Kashak. You now have your voice back.
Nice. Get this condition off of me as I put more on.
One of the three, yeah.
Yeah.
What would you all like to do?
Kashak, for the first time in an hour, will say, I think we should go hang out with this. I think we should go deal with this room and spend some time in there, make sure those traps or our enemies are in there.
Agreed.
I think that would be
EG,
a
I think
good
you're
move.
muted.
My bad. Are you okay to fight?
I feel fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I could use some rest. I'm a little tired, but I think we'll be okay.
Yes, I think we should soldier on as well.
Do we want to lock the door behind us in case Missy
Yeah.
over there wakes up?
So Kashak will step out here over to this square, and then once everybody's out of the room, he will lock the door behind him.
Okay.
Chunk, 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 chunk. Door locked. He will step back over here. I'll give it a quick perception check to listen across the door. 24 perception over the door.
Sure. Once more, you go over, maybe like peeking your ear, like against,
They don't have ears.
checking your auditory membrane. Whatever lizards have. That suffices. Whereas at one point you did hear whispers, you no longer do.
Kashak will try the handle,
It is locked.
and then he will try all the keys that he needs to do until he unlocks it.
Hey, you go through it eventually, and eventually you find the right key to unlock it. It is now unlocked.
And he will throw it open. He'll kind of like look at everyone before doing so. He'll say like, I have it, and then throw it open.
Sure. You see before you a tiled room, and I'll reveal it here in a second.
Mm-hmm.
A tiled room, like this gray tile, in the center of which there is a grate, almost like a drainage grate, and around it you just see blood, dried blood. Against the opposite wall, you see two sets of manacles, one which is unoccupied, the other at which stands a man covered in scratches and cuts, bruises, his head kind of lolled down in front of him. You see that he's wearing nothing but like a tied on like waistcloth. He looks weak, face sunken in, hair matted and dirty, clinging to his head in long wisps. You see that there's like an almost like shower head or something along the wall next to you. And I will give me one sec here. Reveal this.
Do any of us recognize this man, or is he a
I
stranger
was
to all
gonna
of us?
ask too. Is it the? I know there's a woman we saw. Oh, that's an awful creep.
Oh god.
Oh yay!
Sorry, he is right. He's on this set of manacles here. Yeah, you see like an empty like chains dangling here, the drain, and then the guy here, and there's like a shower head over on this wall, or some kind of like faucet, protruding from the wall.
I stay aside. I stand aside for Doctor Golan.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Yeah, I think the second he sees him, I think the doctor does two things. One, he will perception for traps, check for traps,
Sure.
and then
what is your
he
perception
will
bonus?
run in. It's a +10.
Ooh, a secret check.
Okay. Yeah, as you like open the door, you see some kind of like his head. You hear a groan from him. He just kind of as his head like sways side to side.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, the doctor is he's gonna go in.
Cool.
So he'll call
Go ahead.
as he's walking in. He's gonna say,
I'll follow.
"Sir, can you speak?" He's gonna run up. He's gonna go on this wall like up to him, and be like, "Can you speak?" And he's gonna pull out his healer tools and I think do like a medicine check on him.
Sure. So I'm actually gonna stop you.
Yeah, I figured.
Right about here.
Okay.
Because as you get about there, you hear from off behind you
Behind me?
in the corner
What?
here.
Where we couldn't see.
The sound of a woman who says, "Kameniles, now!" And I would like everyone
Why
to
don't we kn-
roll me.
Why do we know that
initiative.
name? Why do we know that name? Kameniles.
As we're doing this, as she shouts, Kashak will shout something in return, say, "Everyone get inside
Okay.
now!" And you guys will get a +2 bonus to your initiative rolls.
Oh, you can. That's right.
Shoot.
Okay, cool.
Wait, wow, hold on. Why do we know the name Kameniles? Crap, we know that
Everybody
name.
go ahead and roll me initiative.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everyone get your +2.
And go ahead and throw on some battle music.
of course it was
That's some
trapped
good
around
battle
the
music.
corner from where I couldn't see.
Ooh, baby.
So, Kashak.
That is a 17.
Dr.
Was
Forsyth?
in the journal? 25.
Bastro.
28.
Twinkledoes.
14.
Okay.
I don't have Kameniles in my notes.
Yeah, I swear we've heard that name though.
Oh, you have.
Is that?
Do I recognize
Yeah.
that name, William?
You all do.
Yeah, I just don't remember where we heard it in what context, but I know that name.
Kameniles.
Was Kameniles a creature of some sort?
More it's the
I
ochre
don't-
jelly.
Kameniles
Well, we'll see.
would be the name of the wizard who had originally brought Eunice to Absalom.
Oh,
shit!
What?
Yes!
Christ.
What?
Attacking us. Yeah.
Let me just finish my initiative tracker here.
What? Freaking Eunice. Eunice is the big bad. You wait. It's
Oh,
gonna
true.
happen.
Eunice is the boss of book 1.
No, Eunice is one of the heroes of Absalom.
You guys have
No,
already
that's
decided that
lore.
Eunice is definitely a hero of Absalom.
I'm revoking his hero status.
Kameniles, upon hearing the command, you see that he like pulls his hands out. It
The
appears
Kameniles
that
is the guy who was shackled.
correct. He
Okay.
like pulls his hands
Oh.
out. It looked like the shackles were no longer actually locked, but that he had just placed them over his arms. Pulls his hands out, and he will
Uh-oh.
Help us. Yay.
Yeah.
hold one hand out in front of him and mutters a few arcane
Oh
words.
man, freaking spellcaster.
The wizard. we
Yeah,
knew
he's
that.
a wizard.
No, he's
He's a
that's what I'm
fucking
saying.
wizard.
Like he's a wizard. Like this is gonna be
Ah.
bad.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm sure nothing bad's gonna happen.
A
personally.
gout of flame erupts in front of him, and I need Dr. Forsyth and Twinkletoes to roll me a basic reflex save.
Right.
Reflex, you say, huh? All right.
Natural 19. That's a 30.
30.
Whoa.
Okay.
Ugh.
And Dr. Forsyth.
I can't use my hero point. I have to save my hero point for medicine checks. So I rolled a natural 1. That's a
critical
total of a 9.
So we have a
Yeah, it's
critical
a crit
failure
fail.
from Dr. Forsyth and a critical success from Twinkletoes.
Dr. Forsyth takes
I-
the full brunt of the flame.
Yeah, I think the doctor is just so thrown off because he was expecting this to be like a victim, and it turns out to be the aggressor.
Oh, he's not in good shape. He definitely doesn't look like he's had a good day.
You don't need to make us feel guilty about it, Will.
I'm not going to if he's just freaking burning ham stuff or whatever.
I mean, Dr. Forsyth, from your medical and professional knowledge, you would assume that this man has been tortured severely. So take
Oh, yeah.
take that for what you will. Dr. Forsyth, I would like to say that I'm sorry, but you rolled a critical failure.
And I actively am choosing not to hero point it.
You take 36 points of fire damage.
Oh, I'm
it's-
unconscious and dying.
It's double damage.
I'm unconscious and dying.
You're dying too now, I believe.
Yeah, you critically failed. That'd be dying too.
And
I was not expecting that.
Twinkletoes just like ducks behind Dr. Forsyth and takes none of it.
Oh my god.
That was
Wow, I was not expecting that amount of damage.
yeah. Yep. And he will use his third action to step farther back into the room. As he's doing that, he like burns through Dr. Forsyth, Twinkletoes managing to barely escape, unfortunately, behind him to avoid the damage. But he says, "Pratchett, we won't be a victim of your games anymore!" And
Interesting.
it is now Bastro's turn.
Okay. After seeing the flames like lick around the corner from the door that we just opened, he's gonna run inside the room. So 5, 10, 15. We'll stay right here. 25. Second action. He's gonna try to persuade. I'm sorry. What was his name again? The wizard's name?
Kameniles.
Kameniles. He's gonna try to persuade Kameniles to stand down. He's gonna be like, Kameniles, we've been looking for you. We're here to help. We're here for Eustace. Eustace sent us.
Eunice!
You're safe now,
Eunice!
please. Eunice, not Eustace. Eunice sent us, please.
Yes.
I don't know
Dark.
what Eustace fireballs.
This isn't Courage
Yeah.
the Cowardly Dog. There's no Eustace here.
Who
I-
is
yeah.
this, by the way? What do we see in the corner? What,
Oh
what,
yeah.
what-
In
Yeah.
the corner, you see a small female gnome. She looks similarly battered and beaten, but she is carrying what looks to be like scrap metal that has been like bound together by some twine, almost in the shape of like a trident. That she's like holding out. You see this like feral glaze over her eyes. Again, just covered in lacerations and bruises, like blood and shit stain. To be honest, they look terrible, and the conditions of the room would be pretty clear as to why. But she just has this like almost hollow feral gaze as she's like backed into the corner with her trident up in front of her.
Yeah, so these are probably people who are victims of Hendry.
Yeah,
Who are
yeah.
who like planned a trap
Pratchett.
for him,
Yeah.
and we just happen to be the ones who walk in.
So Bastro, what are you? You said you've been sent by Eunice. What else did you say?
So look for him, find him. Basically, Eunice sent us to look for you, and now that we found you, we're just here to help. We're not here to cause you any more pain or anything.
Go ahead and
he's
roll
just like
a
trying
diplomacy.
to. Gotcha.
We have not taken thus far any hostile actions towards them yet, so I just want to put that out there.
Sure. You can point that out.
Oh,
all
it's
you
just
Just saying.
oof. That's gonna be an 8.
Total of an 8. Okay.
Yeah. And then I have one more action.
Yeah. So you
just
say it.
my third action. He's gonna. Huh? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna
Sorry.
say you say that, and he's like, "Not again. We won't fall for your tricks, your disguises, your deception."
Ooh. That's good information about Hendrik.
Yeah.
Bastard's going to cast shield on himself.
Okay.
End his turn.
After Bastro is Dr. Forsyth, except it's not because he's moved in the initiative.
Yeah, I
order.
moved in the initiative order because, by the way, I'm dying, everybody.
Yeah,
Only dying
yeah.
one. Actually,
Dying
no,
two.
dying 2 because of the
Dying
critical.
two.
That sucks.
That sucks.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah, it's an oofer. It is now the gnome's turn. She, seeing that Bastro has now gotten in reach of her, just thrusts the trident out at you.
Bring it.
Rude. We're trying to help.
Yeah.
14.
That's a miss.
Okay. And it's gonna do it again just for fun. That's also not gonna hit. And then she's gonna like kind of sidle around to here, like partially interposing herself between you all and Kamenoles. Still trident held and like baring her teeth, this crazed look in her eyes. Yeah, that's the end of her turn. Kashak. You hear
Yeah.
the thud of Forsyth's body hitting the ground. Smell of burnt
Hard.
hair wafting out of the room. And you
He
hear the
definitely saw it again.
conversation between them. What would you like to do?
Yeah, he definitely saw the flames, but he did hear that we're trying to like talk these people down, so he's gonna follow suit. I think he'll stride over to here, and he will actually attempt to disarm the gnome.
Okay.
So that is an athletics check against reflex DC. I'm gonna hero point that natural one.
Oh,
I got a freaking 3.
No, no.
Hero
so that is
point
a-
economy.
That is a 12 against reflex DC.
Ooh, not quite. Unfortunately, you're not able to wrest it from her grasp as she's like clinging to the trident with dear life. You have one more action?
Yeah. That's really annoying. He's gonna stride over to here. So be next to Kamenoles.
Okay.
That's it. Good turn. Excellent turn.
Twinkle Toes.
Really good turn.
I whip out a lesser healing potion from my bandolier and pour it down Dr. Forsyth's throat.
Okay.
I don't know how many actions that took me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Cool. Should I roll
Go
those?
ahead and roll it, yeah.
Okay.
Lesser healing, so that's 3d.
That's 2d8
2d8 plus 5.
plus
yeah.
5. Oh, I rolled a 2 and a 3, so that's 10 points of healing to you.
hey, I'm alive.
Conscious is
that
better
don't
than
matter.
on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wounded 1.
Wounded 1.
Yep.
Correct.
There
you-
goes that healing potion we got.
One more action. What would you like to do?
I would like to stride. No, I would like to free action speak really quick and be like, Kamenoles, we're friends. Like reiterate what Bastro said a little bit, but
If you want to roll a check, it's going to be an action.
I want to. Yeah, I want.
So it's going to be your
Okay.
last action.
Yeah. I want to use my last action then. Sorry.
And you're attempting
Um,
diplomacy?
I'm. Yes. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay.
I'm assuming you're not
Yeah.
trying to intimidate them, which would be the other end.
Okay,
of the
yeah,
spectrum.
no. Diplomacy.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll diplomacy, and you're just kind of like trying to reassure that no, like Eunice really sent us. We're here.
Yeah,
to
I'm
rescue
gonna
you."
I'm gonna drop my rapier that I had.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna sheath it. Or throw it. No, I'm gonna sheath it. Yeah. Diplomacy. Oh, a natural 20.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
That's a total of a 28.
28. Okay.
Oh, so clutch. So clutch.
So. You hear, as you're like saying that, he brazenly defied Basker's attempts. But something in his face as you mention Eunice and the call to find him and save him. You watch as his face just goes from like a scowl, like sneering, to just kind of goes blank for a moment. And then his face just drops as he begins to sob. He falls to his knees. The gnome looks over to him. Comeneles, we've got to fight them. He says, I can't do it anymore. I don't have the strength. If this really is Ratchet, he's won. I'm done. I'm done. And he just like slumps to the ground, like fully prone, crying.
Could Kashak maybe try to catch him? Maybe try to like just like ease his fall with a reaction or something?
Sure. You like catch him as his head is about to like fall into the ground.
Yeah, just so he doesn't like crack his skull on the tile. Yeah.
The woman drops the trident and falls to her knees. And just says, all right. I really hope you are who you say you are.
Kashak
Hi,
will pick up his.
The doctor stands up and says, "You fire-breathing bastard! Let me look at you." And he's gonna slip in here, and roll medicine checks on both of them.
And Kashak will take the trident away from her and any other weapons, and then stand guard in the doorway for whatever the hell's going to go on here.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out 2 minor healing potions from my bandolier and hand one to each of them.
Yeah, they are both just like on the verge of starvation. You can see their ribs.
I'm also gonna hand them each a thing of rations.
They have like slashes and I'll show you like a picture here of
Yeah.
Comeneles.
That's bad. Yeah.
Thanks.
Bruised,
Yeah.
battered, eyes are sunken in, on the verge of starvation. These people have been ravaged
Rue it.
by whatever
Yeah.
has happened here. Comeneles
Right.
makes no movement. He's just softly sobbing on the ground. The woman readily gives up the makeshift trident that she has fashioned. You see like bits of pipe on the wall that have been like ripped out by them. It looks like some of the ends have been like corroded, and if you look at the manacles, they've been like, looks like some kind of acid. Bastard, you assume the spell Acid Splash. At some point, he was able to corrode through the manacles and some of the stuff on the wall to fashion something of a defense for them. Yeah, they're both silent. Comeneles is just quietly sobbing on the ground as Dr. Forsyth as you go over him.
I think the doctor. I want to take him out of this room and get them out of this
Yeah.
blood-stained room, but I don't want to take them into the room with Ralsto.
What about this from up here?
We don't really have
We're
another
finding
safe
that.
room. That
I
was
don't know if we have
the
another safe room.
that was what we thought might be like the half-made dragon's breath trap.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna call out to Kashak, who sees by the door, and says, "Kashak, grab go into the other room and grab chairs or blankets or anything you can find.
Yeah, he'll go into the main room that we have. There's only this one chair here, right?
There's like a small writing desk and a little chair, yeah.
He'll take the chair and throw it in there, and then try to push the desk through the doors. Also, if they can like sit up on the desk or lean up against her swing, so he'll take both of those.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it takes a minute, but you're able to drag some of the furniture out. You've got to unlock, and then I'm assuming you're relocking the door behind you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I am.
Twinkle Toes goes with him just in case Relsa woke up.
Yeah, she's still cold, out cold. Yeah, so you're setting them up here in the room that they're already in.
Yeah, and I think I want to like treat wounds on them, but like these we got to get these people out of here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I think he'll do 10 minutes on each of them to treat wounds. And I think he's gonna he's in front of Kameniles right now. He's gonna Kameniles, drink the potion. We're going to help you. It's all right. We're going to get you out of here. You're going to be okay.
At this point, it looks like he is just almost catatonic. He's still breathing. His eyes are still open, but he's making no movements. You can like dribble the potion into his mouth, and he'll swallow it, but essentially he's not there anymore.
Yeah.
I could easily carry these two into the room we were supposed to stay in where we fought those statues. That might be the safest place for us to post up for a bit.
That sounds all right with me.
We'll have to make it back. It shouldn't be too far though.
I can stealth ahead, scout out a bit.
That would be excellent. I'm assuming I could take one of them on each of my arms, like
yeah.
under the shoulders.
What's your strength score?
16. I am enfeebled 1, so I would take a -1 status to any checks.
16.
But
yeah,
16
I mean, it is a frail human.
Yeah.
Again, wasted away, and then an even smaller gnome, again wasted away. Between the two of them, maybe 100 pounds. It is.
He might even like over the shoulder the gnome if that's okay, and then like under Kameniles' like shoulders with his other arm, kind of like this.
Yeah, the gnome seems to be a little bit more responsive. She's still there, but she's just kind of letting whatever happen.
Yeah.
It seems like Kameniles especially just has resigned.
Twinkle-Toes, if you could just give us an all clear in the hallways here.
Sure. Yeah. I would like to stealth out.
Well, are we moving them now, or do you want me to like first aid, like treat wounds? Then?
Oh, I thought you did that already.
That's up to you, I think.
I think the doctor wants to like check them out first before moving them. You know,
Okay.
I think he would
Sure.
want to look at wounds, see if they can walk, if it's even safe to move them in their current condition.
Sure.
You know, like that sort of thing.
Go ahead and tell me.
Sorry, go ahead, Will.
Go ahead and tell me who you're doing first and second, and then your rolls.
Well, so I pre-rolled these while everyone else was talking. Well, it's funny though because I was doing Kameniles first, and of course I roll a natural 1, and I then use my hero point on the medicine check on him. So it's just so perfect. Instead of using the hero point on me, I use it on him, and I get above a 20, so I get the healing for him.
Well, this takes 10 minutes each, though, right?
Yes, so we'd be
There
here
is
for 20 minutes.
there is a very solid chance you would have outright killed him with that natural 1.
Which is why I'm telling you, I expended my hero point.
Yes, I appreciate that. There is a greater than 50-50 chance that you would have just outright killed him.
Zoink.
The dice have not been in my favor tonight. Do you want me rolling healing on them, or just I made the DC 20? Do you want me actually rolling it, or?
It won't matter now. Just at some point roll it and text it to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll take care of that to the side. So
Okay, and then
you've spent the 20 minutes. There is nothing in this room. It looks like they had, again, some like rudimentary shower or water. You can like turn the knob and just like this barely sprinkle of water comes out. It seems like it would have been just enough to barely clean them off after whatever was going on in this room. Dr. Forsyth, as you're going over it, you can see injuries that have not been treated, and it looks like they have been kept in this like same state of close to dead for weeks. You can see some wounds that are like a few weeks old, some that are hours old.
Is this why there were bloody healer's tools in that closet? Is this what this was for?
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like they were kept in this state just away from dying.
Like intentionally, like this was the goal.
for a decent amount of time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's messed up.
They were literally just being tortured.
Yep. So I didn't actually roll the check for the second one. It was only Kameniles, and when
Okay.
I saw that I
Go ahead and roll it.
failed, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get that one out of the way. So I don't know if her name is supposed to pop up over her token, but it does.
Yeah, you don't know it, but it does. It's one of those things where there's a full pack with all this art assets, and there are just some tokens. Like we saw that at the very first fight with like Baylor Stonemoor. No reason you ever should have known his name, but it was just there on the token.
It's roll 20 doing this when you buy these packs from them.
Yeah.
My Rise of the Rune Lords from first edition pack is the same thing. They just give you the names of the creatures on these tokens. It's like that's why would I want that?
She's not as catatonic though as Kameniles, right? Like she's a little more.
She's like receptive. She'll like move her arm for you or lift up like her arm or whatever. Move her head, tilts, whatever. She's just like not really responding, but she'll follow simple directions.
So I think as he's like checking her out, the doctor's gonna say, "What is your name? What is your name, my dear?"
You just hear like a bear.
Does she respond at all?
Bear whisper, Lyra. Lyra is my name.
Lyra, we're going to get you out of here, Lyra. We're going to make sure you're safe and taken care of.
Okay.
And he's gonna roll the medicine check. Just because I'm a little gun shy now that I've spent the hero point, I'm doing the DC 15, the lower one, so she'll get less healing, but I don't want to kill her.
Yeah, seems fair. You can still roll a natural one, but we'll see.
And of course, I rolled a natural 16, but she'll get the lower healing.
Okay. Yeah, just roll that and then text me to the side. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I'll keep track of that separately.
You can't crit that, can you? You can't critically succeed that?
You can.
Well,
then I just critically succeeded that.
Yeah.
For her. So
she'll get twice the dice. Normally it's like what, 2d8 for the.
She'll get 4d8, but then less total probably because it won't be with all the modifiers.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. And so once you've spent the 20 minutes there, you guys are planning to move them back out to the Osirian room. Is that correct?
That's correct.
The room where you were attacked by the statues.
Yeah.
So
Kashak will also hand Twinkletoes the key ring also while he's picking up the people, so you have the keys.
Okay.
All right.
So Twinkletoes, go ahead and roll me a stealth. That is what you were planning to do, correct? Move quietly back and just kind of scout ahead. So go ahead and roll me a stealth check and a perception check.
All right. All right, stealth. Stealth is a 19.
Okay. And perception?
Perception is a 10.
Yeah, so Twinkletoes like disappears on ahead of you all, around this like weaving and winding corridor back to the room from whence you originally came. Along the way, Twinkletoes, you're just kind of peering around every corner, very quiet and very careful. But fortunately enough for you, it does not appear that anything has changed since you had last been through here. All the way up into and including the room in which you started, there are no other monsters, creatures, traps, anything else that you can detect.
All right.
So you all, if you are willing to do so, are able to make it back to the Osirian room without any harassment or harrying.
And Kashak, is this bed big enough for the two of them to both be in?
Yes, it is a double bed, and I'll move them.
He'll place them both in there.
Into that
on
for
it,
you.
I guess.
Yeah. I guess mechanically it's not, but realistically it is.
We got it.
Close enough. Yeah. So they are both now there. And you're left.
Should we go get Rolso too? Keep it with us.
I think it's best to keep her locked away in that room in the corner, and then if she escapes, we have a little more time to.
Yeah.
Could we put her in the attic?
In the cage.
Kishak.
No, not in a cage, but in the
Oh,
attic.
God.
Well, she's secure in the bed now, and we've got
I
her
think we leave her where
restrained.
she is.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
She is unconscious for an indeterminate amount of time. Even if she wakes up, she has to contend with the fact that she has none of her sharp weapons with her anymore. You all
And is tied up.
and is tied up, and the door is currently locked. It seems unlikely that she would be able to get out quickly. Though you know she is a thief, so she might be able to get something. Again, that's if and when she wakes up.
We did take the Master's Thieves tools that she
We
had.
did.
You did take away her thieves' tools. That is correct.
Kishak very briefly is going to just kind of walk over here and then slide like a crocodile into the water, and then just kind of like sit underneath the surface for like 30 seconds. Like slowly rise up and just look exhausted. Just look so tired.
Bubbles just furiously erupting.
Yeah, like he's just like, I just need like a minute or two. Just give me a
I have
second.
20. Well-
The doctor's gonna say like, "I'm sorry, everyone, but I need 10 more minutes."
Yeah.
That's fine. And then he goes into the water again.
I'm gonna treat wounds on myself.
Okay. So it is now about an hour and 40 minutes since you all have finished the Attic Whisperer combat. And you've got the keys. I will remind you that there is one room all the way to the southeast that has gone as of yet unchecked. The 3 doorways to the west, and then most of the lower level, the rooms you haven't gone through. The kind of main areas you've been in and seen, but the actual individual rooms you have yet to explore.
I guess we should do that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we
It's-
should.
those-
I
it's up to you
want
guys.
to clear the rooms. I
There
wanna
could be
clear
like-
the
It
rooms.
feels not great because we're not
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
find like exciting stuff in there, I don't think, but we might find some like important information.
So the doctor's asking for 10 minutes because he's at 10 hit points right now. So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
gonna
totally,
treat wounds
yeah.
again.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
and-
The hour 40, I was accounting for the 10 minutes. that you
Okay,
were
and
now
Will, I'm
mentioning.
doing the lower. I'm doing DC 15. I am now gun shy.
Yeah, no kidding. Did he roll a natural one? Betty rolled a natural one.
The doctor goes to sit down in this chair, and I think he starts trying to treat these like burn wounds, and I think he just starts weeping. I think he just breaks down and starts crying, and in that he rolls a natural one and critically fails his treat wounds check.
Oh my god.
And he's gonna take 1d8 points of damage as I think he breaks down from like what he's witnessed, from these voices to this skeleton monster to this torture. He like slips and is sloppy and
Having a hard time.
takes 6 points of damage to himself.
4 hit points.
Yeah, and I think he
And
just
he's
like
still wounded one.
he looks awful, and he breaks down and is weeping here by the fireplace.
Bastro's definitely gonna walk over, seeing that the doctor's basically cutting himself, trying to heal himself. Bastro's gonna walk over and he's gonna start treating wounds on the doctor, kind of like say like some reassuring words like, "It's okay, it's been a lot, I understand. You were burned, you're crisp, just let me do this." And he's gonna roll to treat wounds.
And Bastro, if at any point during the 10 minutes where he was doing the treat wounds, you wanted to refocus, you could get your focus back and for your life boost if you had wanted to.
Okay, I actually haven't used it yet, but thank you for that.
Oh, I
Um,
forgot that you actually didn't do it on the skeleton creature.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do it on the doctor. I know it'll hurt him even more, and he looks so distressed. So he'll just go ahead and roll to
Okay.
treat wounds.
Yeah.
And that is my medicine.
Are you an expert?
check. I am an no. I
Okay,
am
just
trained.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's 6. 11.
An 11
What's the
isn't
DC
going to
to
do
beat
it.
it?
It's
Fail.
going to be a DC 15, but you don't hurt him any
Okay,
further. That's
Thank
the most
God.
important bit, I would say.
Oh, then after he fails to do that, he'll just give the doctor a minor healing potion and be like, "Just drink this, doctor. It hopefully it'll make you feel better."
Yeah, and you all are now like almost crashing from the adrenaline that has just been almost constant for the past 2 hours now. And the things that you've seen have been so unlike any of your experiences. Kashak has seen battle. Kashak has seen the hunt and the taking of life, but he has never seen the horrors of an undead of any of these variety. He has never seen the horrors of just pure, abject torture. Dr. Forsyth, you have almost never failed in your practice. Everything in your life has been training and honing your skills. But there's just something in the air here where you cannot stay your hand. You are unable to perform your duties to the ability that you know you can.
Should we just rest?
Bastro, the air around you, the weights of the unholy, the evil energies weigh in, clouding your senses. And Twinkletoes, there is no merriment to be found here. There is no joy that can come from dance or performance, and there is little hope in this place. You all feel the weight of the energy, of the actions, of the horrors that have occurred. You know that they're not over yet, but you know that you have to press on if there's any hope to end them. What would you like to do?
As a player, I think we might just want a full rest, just 8-hour rest. Come to it in the morning.
I mean, but there might
not-
be that we still have another room on this floor where there might be somebody dying.
And there might be the ochre jelly that we know is here. There might be more people laying traps for us. There might be more actual literal traps that could go off and blow the doctor's head off.
You're right.
I don't know. I mean, Kashak is going to stay under the water for, until somebody goes to get him, and he can stay underwater for 15 straight minutes. So he'll be there the whole time this wounds treating is happening.
Just occasionally, you see the snout pop up. You hear this deep,
Yeah,
and then it just submerges again.
and then another 15 minutes for as long as that goes. So, I mean, it's 2 of us are fatigued, enfeebled 1.
Yeah, let's go to sleep.
Are you guys setting up any kind of watch?
For sure.
What kind of precautions
absolutely.
are you all taking to ensure ensure your rest?
We'll do a watch schedule. Yeah.
Are we really good at rest? Because Pratchett could come back at any time, I feel like. It sounds like these two knew that he was coming back eventually. So, I'm scared he's going to find a knocked out.
Well, I mean,
what's her
I'm
face?
perfectly fine. I'm fine.
Bastardo's also perfectly fine.
And Kashak is actually perfectly fine. So I think the doctor.
Hit
he'll-
points wise, but these conditions are problematic for me.
No, I
Dr.
don't even
Forsyth,
have
your
have
medical
nothing.
knowledge, you would realize that at some point, if you were to rest for 8 hours, at some point, also would most likely wake up. You're not sure how long,
Yeah.
but if you take a long rest, you would assume that there's
Yeah.
a solid chance that she becomes conscious again.
10 hours, because if we're going to make a watch schedule, we have to stay awake and
It'd be
also get
10
8 hours.
Yeah. I think the doctor, he sort of composes himself, and he's just gonna look up, and he's gonna look up at Twinkletoes, I think, actually, and just be like, Twinkletoes,
That's me.
you have inspired me to try and see more good in people than I have traditionally, and I'm trying, and I don't know how to see it in this place. And he sort of glances over at Lyra and Kameniles passed out on the bed. I don't know how to see it here, but I think you're right that we need to carry on. There might be more. We need to find these people. There might be more who are. And he's coughing because he's still at 4 hit points.
You did get a potion
might be-
from Bastro, but I
There
don't
might
think
be
we
more
rolled it.
people. And I think the doctor's gonna stand up and he's just gonna chug a minor and then a lesser, and just be like,
Is that including the
to-
one from Bastro?
including the one from.
Bastro gave you a
Yeah.
potion earlier.
Yeah, he gave me a minor. I'm chugging Bastro's minor,
Okay.
and then I have a lesser, which I'm gonna drink.
Just trying to keep track of all the
Um,
consumables.
Yeah, and he's gonna say, we
Why?
need to keep go. We need to keep going. We need to keep going. And Twinkletoes, I thank you for being the leader I think this group needs to inspire us to keep going. And he's gonna roll some healing points, really.
Roll some potion points.
Feel like I need the like moment from the final Lord of the Rings, like you bow to no one. Like everybody just gets down on my head.
Except everyone bows and they're still taller than you.
Yeah.
And they realize this, and they just like lie down.
How do we prostrate here? How do we do this?
Just everyone prostrates themselves in front of Twinkletoes on an armchair.
Incredible.
All right, not great on the healing potions, but I'm good to carry on.
What's the plan, kiddos?
Yeah,
what's
what is the
what's
plan?
the move?
That is my question precisely.
By the way, does someone go tap Kashak on the head?
Oh yeah, for sure. So we're gonna leave these two in here, I'm
Okay.
assuming. And do we
I-
want to like barricade the door for that?
Well,
I don't
we
know.
have the keys. We
Yeah,
locked the
I
door.
don't know. Yeah, but are
that
those
feels a little-
statues gonna come back to life or anything?
There are
They're
no more
crumbled.
statues. The statues are still piles of rubble and dust on the ground in front of the fireplace.
I feel as though this room can't be any more dangerous than the room they came from, and it's certainly a little more comfortable.
Absolutely. Should we like do something about those peeping holes?
They are up on the wall up here, so they can't see the bed. But if you wanted to cover them up, it wouldn't be too hard. You would just need like
Nah,
a board or something,
no, it's all right.
sheet of
I don't think
paper,
it's that big of a deal.
parchment, whatever.
The doctor's gonna go over to Lyra, and try and like just nudge her really quick, assuming that she was the more with it. Lyra, can you hear
Yeah,
me?
you see that they're both like passed out asleep. It looks like the first chance that they've had to actually lay down in ages. She like grumbles, what? And like starts up, and like
Lyra,
looks around
it's
at
okay.
you all.
It's okay. It's okay. It's us. It's okay. Lyra, we are going to go look for more people who may have been in your situation. To do that, we are going to have to lock the door from the outside. We will come
Dude.
back for you.
Do you have any food, Walter?
Oh yeah, I had already gotten out rations and my water skin for them.
Okay.
And I think the doctor will leave his like water skin as well in the room. And say, we will be back, but we have to go find others. We will be back.
Okay. If it must be this way. And she like grips the water skin and like takes a swig, like maybe pulls some crumbs of a cracker off from the rations, and then turns over to Kameniles and like just kind of tucks him in, pulls the sheets over him, and then goes back to sleep.
Kashak will come up to Twinkletoes as well, and do you mind if I get the keys back? I think I'm gonna take
Yeah.
the lead on this this next couple of
Give me the
sessions here.
keys.
Absolutely. Here you go. Ding.
He will take the keys back and start walking. I don't see anything. I don't see any reason to do anything but left to right. So we'll
Yep,
start
left,
with that.
right.
That's
that
great.
leftmost door.
I
Proceed.
have my rapier drawn.
Yeah, Kashak will put a bow in a hand. And let's roll a perception check to listen at the door. That's a natural 3 for a 12.
12.
12.
As far as you're able to ascertain, there is no noise coming from the other side, although you are able to look, like, kind of under and around the cracks in the door frame. There doesn't appear to be any light emanating from the other side either.
Can I percept for traps with a +9?
Percent.
As far as you're aware, there are no traps.
He will open the door whether it's locked or unlocked.
It is locked, but you're able to quickly enough find the key to it.
Yeah.
Let me give you a quick little reveal.
Check indoors with my friends.
Yeah.
I got the nice little Roll20 bug where the first reveal that you try to do is actually a hide.
Love it.
Super fun. It's actually really not that bad, but it does happen sometimes. You see, and let me get the stream view going a little here too.
Another door.
Another door. You open the door to find a large window along the western side of this room. What appears to be an office of some sorts. You see that this is the point at which, and it's kind of also above Dr. Forsyth, where the roof begins to slant down towards the edges along this western wall. As you look out of the window here, you actually catch a glimpse of the Bay of Conquerors, just kind of peeking out over over the roofs of some of the other houses and buildings along the street nearby. Across from the window is a large wooden desk that has been fitted with a leather top that has been tacked along. There is what appears to be maybe a closet door that is across from you all, and this let me see here. Just trying to get everything.
While you're kind of on that, I also would like to roll perception on the room generally with a
Sure.
14.
The only other noticeable thing that you see from here is that back behind the desk, there appears to be another painting, much in a similar style as the one that you had seen previously. However, this one is a landscape, and it depicts kind of a more foresty landscape, but you're unable to ascertain many details from where you're standing here.
One that was covering or was it a mirror that was covering the eye?
That was like the Henry Pratchett painting, right?
It's similar to the Pratchett painting that you had seen previously.
Yeah.
You can tell kind of the stylization and the brush strokes and quality of the work without inspecting it too closely. Looks to be reminiscent of the portrait of Pratchett that you had seen. Are you going into the room to inspect it?
Kashak will step in and point out the painting and then the desk. Sure. I think he's more interested in the closet door, though. I think he'll just go open it.
It's locked.
Okay. Any of the keys work?
The keys. Eventually, you find one that does.
Yeah. I'll do that forever. I'll just keep doing that. If it's locked, I'll just try all the keys.
Sure. You open the door to find something kind of interesting. You find
Oh no.
a bed and a stairway leading down.
Oh no.
Does this look attached to the house? Like, does this look, or the building, I guess? Does this look like it
I don't know how to answer that. It is most definitely attached.
I mean, like, is this, I don't even know what my question was.
Well, we're on the second story, so this is just going down to the first story.
You would remember that you haven't really explored what would be in this area.
Yeah.
I was thinking it's a dungeon, but no, we're on the second.
We're on the second floor.
You're on the second story, yeah. So you're not really
the building. Yeah.
You're not really
so
sure.
This is not weird, actually.
You haven't seen what would be here on the first story.
Yeah.
There's a bed and a staircase that goes down. I think we should we can leave that for now and check the rest of the rooms here. But good to know there's another room.
Is anyone else searching through the things? Shock hasn't really seen much outside of.
Bastro's definitely searching through the cupboards.
Is this a desk? What is this?
Yeah, it's like an office desk. It has been like covered. The top is entirely covered in a leather covering.
I am absolutely gonna try to investigate that, see what I
Sure.
can find at that desk. And like check for traps first, I guess.
Astro rolled a 25 for perception on searching the room. Or the cabinets, I guess.
Like opening drawers and stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
breaking
exactly.
out. Yeah.
I rolled a natural 1 on my perception for checking for traps.
Yo.
You gotta
And
love it.
Our out of combat rolls have not been great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty bad.
I'm just reading through a bunch of stuff in here real quick.
Oh, bunch of stuff you say.
All the traps we set off.
All the tra-
How they would work together in concert.
So there's not too much. Like in the desk itself, you see a number of like papers and various things you might be able to go through. There's a notebook, a leather-bound notebook, and various like loose sheets of parchment that you're more than welcome to try to read through. In terms of
I'm gonna take that notebook.
right about here, Bastro, behind what looks to be a shelf. Let me actually ping it. Right about here, behind this shelf in the north, you see in the wall there appears to be, with your 25 perception, a false panel in the wall, something that can be removed.
I remove it.
Sure. Behind the panel, you see that there are two, what appears to be metal tanks of something, both of which have valves, like turning valves on them.
And like these tanks, I can like pick them up, or
They
like,
are built into the wall, and it looks like there are pipes that connect them and go into the wall. They are secured into the
Like
into
gas?
the center of the
Like
wall.
plumbing.
Yeah, so I'm thinking gas too, Ben. Like,
Yeah, I was thinking gas,
Oh.
like something to.
Well, that's a lot more sinister than what I was thinking. So yeah, it sounds
that's
about
heavy.
right. For great.
Baskerville mentioned, or well, the others about this. He's not gonna try to turn anything. They're not labeled or anything. They're just
They're
two
not labeled.
pipes with gauges on them. Whatever he said.
Do we think that this was Hendred's office or some other place to do something? I'm not sure. Who would have lived here or been here most of the time?
Probably 100.
Ratchet. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys still haven't gone through the paperwork.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna. Can I do that?
Sure. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay. 19.
Nice.
19. As you're going through, the notebook itself looks to be an accounting notebook. You see a number of transactions back and forth. But as you're going through it, nothing particularly looks to be out of order. It looks pretty standard fare, but you notice as you are flipping through the pages that some of the pages have been very carefully and very intricately replaced. As in, there had been pages there, and somebody had very carefully removed them and replaced them with other pages.
Weird.
What?
I'm gonna take that. Pocket that notebook.
Anything about the what we found in the hidden panel?
Do you have
In the notebook?
Yeah. Like
do you
anything
have-
about like
It's an accounting notebook, so
Yep. If anybody has lore accounting or lore engineering, you could figure out what's going on with the book and or the tanks.
Could all the
respectively.
characters who have engineering and accounting lore please roll? Go ahead. All the different characters that have that.
pretty standard skill to have. I don't know why you guys
I'm
don't have
sure that, like we all have it. You know, I'm not worried about that.
I'm a master in it.
I'm a
Actually.
master. I'm a legendary. Dude.
Yeah.
Level 3.
I'm great.
I didn't sass you.
No one knows what those things do.
I'm just assassin the game system more than anything else. It's such a goofy thing. All these very specific lores that they ask for.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. So we can't really get anything without those, is what you're saying? Without like very
You
specific
can't get anything
knowledge.
more.
Yeah.
All you know is that.
Is like a name written in any of it, like property of blank and blank, or...
I mean, it looks like an accounting notebook. So you see
Okay.
like
like a ledger. Yeah.
invoices and accounts receivable, accounts
Yeah.
payable. It's very standard. It looks like standard fare for like equipment, tools, food.
Kashak
betting.
was elected. He was elected treasurer of his
Yeah.
tribal Iruxi
Yeah.
pack.
So you must have a great
Uh,
lore accounting skill then.
Absolutely wonderful. I do have warfare lore, but no.
Roll it. Let's see what happens.
Goofy specific skill set. Incoming nat 20, not 13 for an 18.
For a total of 18, yeah, you have
Mm-hmm.
every single cell in your body is screaming at you that this notebook has nothing to do with warfare.
You hand Kashak the notebook, and he just goes, "You can't go to battle with a notebook," and throws it in the fire. That I'm assuming is also in here.
I did.
There's no fireplace. You just throw it at the wall.
Kashak throws it where he thinks a fireplace is, and is clearly losing his mind.
I didn't realize I gave you the notebook.
Just wrenches it from your hands and says, "You can't go to war with this," and then throws it across the
I
room.
believe.
And then leaves.
I believe I said I was taking the notebook as in pocketing it.
Anything else we want to do with this room, or shall we go to the next one?
Let's go.
To the next one or downstairs?
Onward.
Hold up. Not done yet.
Oh.
After you guys figure out and comb through the notebook, take a look at the gas tanks, or what you assume to be gas tanks with the valves. We would assume that. I don't know if our characters in the world of Galarian would know that. As Twinkle Toes, as you're going through the desk, you find a pendant. It looks to be a skull-shaped pendant. Furthermore, you find about 10 gold's worth of loose change scattered about the desk and in the various drawers and on top of the desk.
Ooh.
It's about 10 gold in loose change of various denominations. You can split that up however you all see fit.
I
You
shall
also find
do
a
that.
skull-shaped pendant.
Okay.
I will
Sweet.
identify item if we have time.
It takes 10 minutes, and you can roll a religion check if you would like to do so.
Oh, well.
HG, I'm gonna go ahead and take 2.5 gold if that's cool
Yep,
with you.
go ahead.
Religion.
Everybody take 2.5 gold.
2 gold, 5
Okay.
silver.
I'm 100% trained with. Oh, there it is. Okay.
I know I have religion. It's my main
Okay, I
thing.
knew
That's
I
my
had it.
thing.
15, which I think hits exactly.
Yeah, it is actually. So you see this like obsidian geometric skull
Whoa.
that has two
Wow.
like small pearls that are inlaid as eyes.
Cool.
These would
Sick.
be what are known as corpse ward pendants. Usually
Okay.
shaped like a humanoid or animal skull. You are 3 times per day able to use one action to activate it. You become undetectable to undead creatures for 10 minutes. Undead cannot see, hear, or smell you, nor can they detect you with sensory capabilities such as scent or tremor sense. A creature can attempt a single will save, DC 18, to ignore this effect. If it has reason to believe that you are doing something, so if you're like knocking around making a bunch of noise and it thinks something is there, it can try a will check to seek for you. If you attempt to use a positive spell to damage undead, use command undead, touch or damage an undead creature, or any attack against a creature while warded in this manner, the pendant's effect ends. An undead creature who observes you in this manner or one who succeeds at a will save is immune to the pendant.
Cool.
That's a cool item.
It's a really cool item.
So in essence, it makes you entirely unperceptible to undead unless you would attack it or do something to make it aware of you. In which case, it If you're just like bumbling around and you're making a lot of noise, they can attempt a will save. If you attack it, obviously it ends, and then if they do pass the will save, or you do attack them, they become immune to the effects for 24 hours. I'll send you guys the specific. You could probably find it on Archives of Nethys. It's a
Sure, it's
Corpse
on there.
Lord pendant.
Do you say anything about this item, Bastro, or do you just?
Yeah, Bastard will definitely let his team know what we found, and that's something honestly like me or the doctor might be.
I was thinking that
have
would be
used.
good for you with the doctor. Doctor, would this help with your problem?
Actually,
The doctor puts it on, and he can no longer see himself.
I think also,
I'm not undead.
I might get some use out of that if I were to have to scout ahead or walk through any sections with any undead creatures in them. I know it would, end as soon as I struck out at one, but since I'm sort of leading the pack, if I'm undetected, then it might be nice. But I'm also a pretty stealthy guy, so I'm not sure.
Though
If the shark wants it, I'm good without it. I'm good.
though I would revel in having such an item. The things after me are not undead, so I
Oh my
I
God.
don't think it would be as much use.
Bastard. In my case, I would say since I do the least attacking in this group, it would be more beneficial in my hands.
Yeah.
I could be walking around undead, giving my support without having to worry about getting hit. And yeah, I will roll you
I'll
off.
roll you for it.
Good old-fashioned roll-off.
Good old-fashioned roll-off.
Can I add myself into it
Yeah.
to like?
Anyone who wants to roll for it, can
Damn.
roll for it.
Oh god. What do you get?
Natural 20.
Oh well, yeah, take it.
Oh.
Bastro wraps it up in a gift and presents it to you.
Sweet.
Turns the parchment papers from the book into little wrapping.
Bastard,
will,
I want you to know that if I had gotten
put
it,
it
I would have
on.
given it to you.
Oh, thank you, Twinkle Toes.
You're welcome.
I'm sure it's not like only he can have it. I'm sure we can switch off with it if the situation arises.
Yeah,
it's just
I
do
just thought you
remember
made
if
a
I,
really
like-
compelling argument. Is the thing.
Yeah.
it's just so unfortunate
It's a
that the
roll-off, though.
pendant isn't quite the chain on the pendant isn't quite large enough to fit around Kashak's massive crocodile head. So it snaps, the magic's all gone. It really sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh
I hate when that happens. That's really awful.
It doesn't have a clasp either, so you're just kind of screwed.
You also said 2.5 gold, right? For each
Yeah.
month? Perfect.
2.5 gold per, yeah.
Next room.
Let's go.
Well, actually, before that happens,
Oh,
one,
there's more.
you all level up to level 4,
Whoa!
and 2, that is where we're gonna end it for this week.
Nice.
So thank you all for joining us again. If you have been liking what you've been seeing, I would love it if you would follow or subscribe to us. And we'll be back here next week at, what time do we start? 7 o'clock on Sunday. So thank you all so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Have a
Y'all
good night,
next week.
everybody.